certainly have terrific strength. If Micah Berry is on the ball, for instance, he provides enormous drive around the ground. He's a very skilled player, very strong player, and overall they certainly look a very, very well-balanced and powerful lineup.
And the Collegian side, where are their strengths, Jeffrey?
Well, Collegians, certainly Jimmy Bennett's been a most important player for them for a long period of time now. I must say that I was very impressed with Tony Park in the previous final games. I've also got a lot of time for Stephen Lawson, an all-round sportsman of some note, a very, very fit player, very determined, very strong, and he played a wonderful game last week to ensure that his side came back into the grand final. I think that Matt Galbraith can probably play a little bit better than what he did previously, because he's certainly an outstanding player, and the part that I always like about him is his ability to really penetrate with those long kicks of his that usually land right in the correct spot.
And so, Dos, you've seen Collegians now for 2 consecutive grand finals. You've made the call, so a lot of those players have left, no doubt, indelible imprints in your mind. The Collegian side, can they go 3 in a row? It's pretty hard to do in any section of football, let alone A section. They're trying to do it and create history for their club by achieving a record or equaling a club record. Can they do it today, Dos?
Well, they certainly can. I think it'll be a fantastic achievement for them, and everyone has a great deal of respect for this football club, and as both sides are now onto the ground. But you know, it'll be a great contest today. We're, as you said, a side going for their 3rd premiership in a row, Collegians. They are the underdogs today, and I guess that might help them. They've got nothing to lose. They can throw everything at it. Whereas on the other hand, Old Melburnians will be very, very hungry. How can you say one particular team's going to be more hungry than another in a grand final? But Old Melburnians have had a great year coming through from B section last year. They are the favourites. They have a very skilled and tall and mobile outfit. But Collegians, as I said before, they've just got nothing to lose here. They can throw everything at it. They are the experienced finals team. They have got some very hard players at the football. They too have some good tall players who are quite mobile. So I'm looking forward to a really good contest here. We have had some poor conditions over the last few years for grand finals and a couple of one-sided games, and I certainly hope, given the conditions we've got here today, that we have a great spectacle. And I think Old Melburnians should win this narrow one, Mike.
Just acknowledgement of the umpires, and people might find that strange that I'd focus some attention on the umpires, but
very much so.
I'm very much the umpires man these days, and I've already telegraphed that I'm after Brian Bomber's job. Leading onto the field are the 2 umpires for today, Wayne Hinton and Peter Gersh. The goal umpires are Ken Pitcher and Bernie Hoare, and the boundary umpires are Leah Gallagher and Jeff Wright. All are very experienced people. The emergency for today, the emergency field umpire is Michael Snedden, who's in his 1st year of amateur football. And as I said this morning, when it was telegraphed that who the people would be in the official capacities today on the field, I acknowledge Michael Snedden. It's a fair achievement and probably gives him a chance to go on next year and really set his sights on getting the A section grand final. So congratulations to those 6 officials today and to Michael Snedden. I'm sure they'll officiate in a very inconspicuous style, as is the hallmark of good umpiring, and I'll perhaps focus some attention back on the 2 coaches, the coach of Owen. There's a combination of the national anthem, and both sides are now bouncing around. I would like to wish both sides the best of luck for this important game.
The pocket alongside Smith, so they're going for the 2-pronged attack there with the big centre-half forward to Simon Brommel just inside the 45-metre zone. So just the 3 forwards inside the arc there.
Yes, McMullen will be very dangerous near goals.
Similar
Very
sort of
dangerous.
set up for Collegians with Danzy and Schober down in the square. As umpire Wayne Hinton holds the ball aloft for this first quarter, brought to you by McKinnon Sports Medicine, and the A-Section 1994 Grand Final is underway. First knockout goes to Green. Loose ball back in the middle. Through came Griffith, I think it was. Kicked off the ground there by Lovett for Old Melburnians as it comes out towards the wing. Players go in desperately. A hard tackle there by the Collegians player.
Micah Berry just a little bit long with the ball. Micah tried to do a bit too much, and Aaron Harrison has the ball right in front of the stand here at Elsternwick Park.
So Harrison on the left foot now, kicks it inside 45. Schober moves to the front of the back. Big punch away there by Stuckey. Out it comes wide down the back pocket, and it's Theodore moving back into defence. Schober may have got him high. Umpire called play on. Got the handball over there to Sousa. Sousa's in a bit of trouble. Danzy couldn't hang on to it. Flicked over there by Hanbury. Now it's back to Sousa now. Ball clogged up there in the forward pocket. Attempted to kick off the ground there by Hanbury. Players dive on it. Umpire Hinton has to come and bounce about 25 metres out, 30 metres out from the Collegians goal, who are kicking to the city end.
He let it go a bit there, Doss, didn't he?
Well, I think that's good tactics in a grand final. I think sometimes umpires are too quick to ball the ball up. Umpire Hinton does that this time. Big thumping knock by Theodore. Back towards the Collegians goal, and it's rushed through for the first score of the match. So Collegians on to 1 behind on the McKinnon Sports Medicine scoreboard. Ball back into play. Loose player. Couldn't hang on to the ball there. Was Teal at centre half back. Lawson goes in hard as he always does, and the ball's held to him by Stuart Griffiths. And umpire Hinton, having all the play at the moment, comes in for a bounce. 45 metres out from the Collegians goal. Coming up to 2 minutes gone. Big thumping knock out of the ruck there by Lovett with a big spring. Now the ball for Collegians, and it's Keneally. Keneally trying to handball it further afield, but it's very scrambly early on. Galbraith gets a quick kick out of the pack. No one home there for Collegians as the ball eventually comes out to Jeremy Nichols. Little rover and captain from Old Melburnians kicks out towards the wing. He's got Theodore in some space. The ball doesn't bounce favourably for him. Wallace came and did some hard work. The handball was by Davidson. Now they're away. They've got a loose man through Kerr. Kerr brings it up with a handball, the half forward, and here comes, it looks like Harrison on the left foot. Kicks the ball high. Here's Schober at the back and Stuckey. Stuckey got the hand up. And it looked...
Paul
O'Brien gets the left foot kick. Out wide, but only to find the Collegians player there in Darren Warner. Warner kicks up towards the top of the square now. Big pack of players go. Schober couldn't mark. Comes down here, looks like Big Dan's, is it? No, it's Phillips. Phillips, the left foot snap in towards the goal square and rushed through there by Paul O'Brien. So 2 points now to Collegians.
So Michael Lake's on the ground already for Collegians.
Who came off, Jeffrey?
I didn't see who came off, Mike.
So the ball kicked back in.
Come on.
Tardy looking kick, and just getting his hand to the football there was Sousa. Sorry, it wasn't Sousa, it was the fullback Stuckey.
Sousa in fact kicked off, so they tried a little bit of unusual work there. Thrown by boundary umpire Leah Gallagher. Knocked down by Tony Phillips. Kicked forward into the centre of the ground. There's a easy mark there for Warwick Green, right on the centre wing.
Free kick picked out earlier going to Keneally, and a 25-metre penalty.
Green with the ball.
Oh, he hasn't given the... My apologies. So Green kicks up towards the goal square, goes right in there. Schober in the front. They double team him this time. Wallace tries to take it and get a quick kick, but couldn't do so. There are too many players around him. And eventually the ball's coughed up and rushed through for another behind, their third, and Old Melbourne is yet to score. 4 minutes gone in this first quarter.
And very untidy work near goal so far, nothing really decisive.
Sousa short, and marked there by Lovett. Lovett plays on straight away, on the right boot. Kicks it up towards the centre. Griffiths in front, takes the mark. Now plays on immediately. Going into the attack for the first time now is Stuart Griffiths. Up there towards the centre half forward in Brommel. Sorry, it wasn't Brommel, it was Walker. Robert Walker.
Ex-Hawthorn player. Can play.
Walker goes wide. It's like the league there.
McMullen.
From McMullen. Down goes Thompson. Now McMullen picks it up. A left foot snap at the goals. It looks pretty good, but it was James Bennett coming down from centre half back. Just pushes it through for one behind. Good bit of defensive work.
Yeah, timely save by Bennett. timely save, and he's very dangerous, as you can see, round goals, McMullen. You wouldn't want to give him too many opportunities. Stewie Hinchin, one of the veterans of the Collegian side, waiting to bring the ball back into play.
Hinchin goes out wide. Found a loose play. It looks like Davidson. Young Christian Davidson. Out on the half-back line. Brings it up towards the wing. Big, long lead here from Harrison. Ball just fell a bit short, but good skills to control the football at half-back, and he goes onto that favoured left foot. Kicks it up towards the lead of Phillips. Phillips in front there of Teal, but eventually forced over the line for a boundary throw-in on the half-forward flank for Collegians.
Now, I must apologise to Phillips. I call him Tony Phillips early on. Of course, that's the Brighton ruckman. It's Damien Phillips.
Matching up against Scott Teal here at the moment. And in this ruck contest, though, he'll do battle with Bryan. Ball comes down. Sousa knocked further afield there by the old Melburnians team.
Richard Webb handballed out.
O'Brien following the ball
Thompson.
up. Sorry, it's Thompson. And another throw-in on the old Melburnians half-forward flank.
Interesting match-up there too at the moment. I've noticed Andrew Keneally's picking up Walker. It just seems to be a bit of a size difference there.
Throw-in. Ball comes away from the pack from old Melburnians. Here's Warner. Getting it across there to Bennett. Bennett on the left foot. The ball, loose ball out on the centre wing. Here comes Witts. Witts and Danzy doing battle. Witts got the socket of the ball towards the boundary line and may have got it over on the full. Boundary umpire said no. Collegians crowd asking for a free kick.
And a good call by boundary umpire Lou Gallagher. She was in a perfect position for that.
Boundary throw-in right in front of our commentary position here on the wing position. Knockout there by Bryan. Wallace gets to the front. Sorry, it was Warner. And the ball was forced over for another throw-in. Just on the old Melburnian side of the centre. 3 points to 1 point on the McKinnon Sports Medicine scoreboard. Galbraith gets a kick. O'Brien intercepts before the ball could get to Lawson. Kicks it forward. Walker, handball over to McMullen. Wasn't a good one, but McMullen shrugs a couple of tackles. Can he get around the third one? He does so, and from 45 he hits a shot to goal. A bit of class there, but couldn't quite keep it off as the ball is still in play. Just drifted across the face of goal. Picked up by Davidson now, who collects the loose ball and now drives it out wide towards the lead of Kerr. Getting in front of him though was Theodore. Theodore feeds it over there to Webb. Webb now pushes it further afield. Through comes Brommel. Good tackle there by Kerr. And it's eventually out there, looks like Davidson again, following the ball up and brings the right foot kick. And Wallace couldn't quite take the mark, and it's eventually forced over for a throw-in on the outer wing.
Davidson's playing with a very heavily strapped leg.
So too is Woolhouse, Brad Woolhouse. Boundary throw-in. Bryan gets the decisive knock. None of his players on that side of the pack, however, as Galbraith goes in. Thompson got the handball out. Got it out towards Berry, and they're away. Old Melburnians going forward.
Kick by Hanbury.
Kick by Hanbury was a poor
into
one.
Parkin's hands.
So Anthony Parkin takes the ball away and brings it out towards the half-back line. Now it's with Griffiths, who takes the loose ball off the pack. Kicks it in towards the forward line. Getting pushed under the ball there was Smith by Hinchin, which was good play. Now McMullen again, explosive speed, takes the loose ball, has another snap on the left boot. This time it bounces and hits the behind post and out of bounds.
Well, McMullen's been very lively up forward. He's had 3 shots for goal. He's managed a point, one across the face that kept him play, and that one's hit the behind post for an out of bounds, and the throw in close to the behind post.
There's the throw in now. Ball comes through, comes McMullen again. Couldn't control it that time. Loose ball now. Collegians have the numbers out here on the half-back flank. This looks like it's Warner again. Warner got Kerr loose on the wing. Takes an uncontested mark. Looks to move it on. Long handball here to Danny Thompson. Danny Thompson fumbled there. His opponent Thompson for old Melburnians now. Gets it over there towards Webb. Webb who drives the ball long into the forward line. Griffiths. And a good battle there with Michael Lake. Lake wins the day, and Hinchin now back to Lake. So Lake tidying up for Collegians down there in the back pocket. Gets the handball over there towards Keneally. Keneally brings it up towards the centre of the ground. In front there was Nichols. He might have got one in the back. Umpire said play on. Through comes Lawson now. Lawson on the right boot. Snaps towards the goal, and first blood to Collegians. A very good goal by Steve Lawson.
And he's done exactly what he's been doing for a couple of weeks, kicking goals when they counted for the Collegian side. And he's not a renowned goal kicker over the years, Jeffrey, Steve Lawson.
No, he's not, Mike.
Commenting on his athleticism, as you did before, he's proved there by picking it up one bounce and turning and hooking it back towards goal. A very valuable goal for the Collegians team.
Yeah, I'd noticed Damien Phillips' strength was fairly noticeable there too. He came through very, very hard, and I think he created a little bit of a path for Steve to come through then.
And we're in 10 minutes mark into the first quarter on the McKinnon Sports Medicine scoreboard. 1-3 Collegians to 1 point Old Melburnians.
Umpire Gersh puts a poor bounce down and it's taken away there by Nichols. And now Bennett, who got rid of Brommel in a contest there and gets some space and runs clear to the wing and kicks it up there and marked by Harrison, who's having a few possessions early in this first quarter. Left foot kicks a pretty good one up to the forward line. Schober takes a big run and eventually goes for the knockdown. Knocked over the top there by Theodore. Ball's loose in the centre. Webb. Webb got it over there towards O'Brien. O'Brien's left foot kick up there towards Brommel and Bennett. Ball comes down. Kicked off the ground there by Lovett. Lovett gathers the ball again. Can he pick it up? Knocks it further afield. Here's a chance for Brommel to run onto the loose ball. Knocks it further afield. And good pressure there by Michael Lake to ensure a boundary throw in right against the point post.
Stewie Hinton came through very hard too then.
Tough, uncompromising fullback Stuart Hinton, veteran of this Collegian side. 1-3 to 1 behind. Collegians lead, 11 minutes gone in this first quarter. Here's a chance there for Thompson, beautifully swooped off the pack. So anything you can do, I can do better, Thompson says to Lawson. And they answer the first goal of Collegians, and now they move on to 1-1-7. Collegians 1-3-9 on the McKinnon Sports Medicine scoreboard.
And remember, you're listening to this broadcast on Southern FM 88.3. Back to Elswick Park with a bit of a how do you do in the centre and a free kick being awarded to David Kerr, who drives his side Collegians into the forward line. Nearly marked. Jeremy Nichols picks up the loose ball and defensively kicks it towards the outer side. Light Tower is recovered by the Collegians player in Danny Thompson. He evades 2 tackles and hooks it back towards the true centre half forward position. Damien Phillips up. The ball is punched clear. Witts takes it away, bounces once. The characteristic run of Witts, tries to avoid a tackle by Lawson, does so, but his kick is not that effective, and it's going to be easy taken by the Collegians player in Lake. Lake swooping towards the outer side on the wing. Damien Phillips up for the mark, has it punched away from him. Warner uncharacteristically knocks it back into the hands of the Old Melburnians player in Teal. Long handball over to Richard Webb, who kicks it to centre half forward for Old Melburnians, the Packer players. Bromwell's got the chance. Handball's off to the running Stuart Griffiths. Griffiths, a very poor kick. It's in the middle of a pack of players. And out of this comes Davidson with a bit of cool there. Lawson takes a crumb off the pack from centre half forward and kicks forward again. It's bouncing towards goals. It's rolling. It's at the bottom of the point post, the goal post, just for the minor score. And another very, very opportunistic piece of play by Steve Lawson.
Yes, he's giving them a bit up on that forward line, Lawson. It's been noted as a half-back flanker, but he's certainly giving them some drive off that half-forward flank. The ball's been kicked back in for Old Melburnians, and the mark taken out there by Nichols. Nichols drives it up towards the centre wing position, but a very good, strong and courageous mark taken there by Kerr, who's on centre wing. Now puts the ball out wide. Here comes the big fellow at the back, the big punch there by Phillips. Knocks it further afield. Here goes Hanbury for Old Melburnians. Kicks a high ball up towards the wing position. 3 or 4 players getting under it. Eventually it comes down. Here's Davidson. Tries to get out of trouble. Well tackled. Keneally tries to throw the boot in. But the ball taken away by Simon Theodore on the left foot. Drives it up there over Smith's head. Here comes McMullen again. Handballs it over towards Smith. It's a long handball. He can't get his hands to it. Needs to get a boot to it. Runs into the open goal. Kicks the left foot and threads it through for Old Melburnians' second goal. 2-1-13. Collegians 1-4-10.
A bit of luck there for Old Melburnians. The ball did bounce correctly for them and badly for Stuart Hinchin. By the same token, they nearly made a meal of it because Smith, running into goal, could not quite get the bounce of the ball, managed at the last minute just to sneak it in. And so a very handy goal. 2 goals, 1 Old Melburnians to 1 goal, 4 Collegians on the McKinnon Sports Medicine scoreboard. Back to the centre with umpire Wayne Hinton to bounce the ball.
Jim McMullen's certainly looking very dangerous, isn't he, down there?
Yeah, you would think Parkin would have to tighten up somewhat on him as the ball goes down. Both players crash to the ground in the centre, but a big knock there by Bryan came through. Here comes Keneally. Keneally kicks a high ball up to half forward. Big punch from behind. Down there by Teal. Through comes Danny Thompson. Gets the handball over to Wallace. Wallace gets it up towards Schober, and those strong hands take a mark 30 metres out from goal. Stuckey did everything right there. It was a big chance for him to punch it away, but Schober, with great strength and strong hands, took a fabulous mark.
And he's well inside the 45-metre arc. Kicking distance shouldn't be a problem, and we have a very good line on this kick as it comes off the boot from the number 14 for Collegians.
Schober kicks towards goal on that left foot, just pulls it across and the wind doesn't bring it back. And an opportunity missed there by Richard Schober.
Yeah, did nothing on it, the wind then. Nothing at all.
So the ball being asked to come back. Sousa kicking out to Witts. Now they try it again and they go the longer option. Stuckey takes the ball on the 45-metre defensive line. Through comes here is Berry. Berry getting around Woolhouse. Handballs along the ground and only finds the boundary line. And there'll be another boundary throw in right in front of our commentary position here at Elsternwick Park. 16 minutes gone in the first quarter, and the McKinnon Sports Medicine scoreboard reads Old Melburnians 2-1-13, Collegians are 1-5-11. And here's the throw in. Good contest. The ball comes over the back. Galbraith's trying to do some hard work. Eventually gets the kick out of the pack, which was good play. Pack of players go for the ball. Coming through there was Sousa. And some good defensive work. Forces the ball away from Thompson and over the boundary line for a throw-in. 55, 60 metres out from the Collegians' goal. Boundary throw-in. Phillips got the big knockdown. Proctor overrunning it. Griffiths knocked off the ball there by Wallace. Wallace did well to get the handball back to Phillips, but the boundary umpire said it was out of bounds. Good play there by Wallace. Once again, boundary throw-in. Just down in front of our commentary position. 17 minutes gone. First quarter. Phillips again. Gets the knock down to the front. Kicked off the ground there by Lovett. And they're just forcing the ball around at the moment, Old Melburnians.
And Pollock's just come on to replace Warwick Green, and I think they'll run this tandem ruck situation all day, Collegians. They won't have both of them on the ground at any one time if they can organise it.
Bryan and Pollock do battle. Galbraith slipped over at the crucial moment as they had to pick up the footy. Knocked away there by Kerr. Woolhouse got one too high. Umpire said there was a throw in amongst the pack there by a Collegians player. And the free kick is going out there to Robert Walker. Robert Walker goes wide and he finds Michael Lovett. Lovett now gets a short kick. They've got some loose players here. Here is Hanbury, 50 metres out from goal. Looks for a lead from Smith. Up he goes now. Big punch away there by Bennett though. Overrunning the ball there was Hinchin. Brommel got the handball across. Here comes Webb now on the left foot. Webb goes towards goal and unopposed there on the goal line there was Berry. Played on immediately and kicks the goal.
It wasn't a real smart play by Berry. He was so close he should have gone back for a set shot. He did run the risk of having that intercepted, but he snuck it in, and very much like the Brommel goal earlier on. So a goal to Berry.
Very interesting there where Brad Woolhouse actually copped one in the head and is a little bit sick and sore for himself at the moment, and it really allowed Michael Berry to break away and get down there and be on his own, and Brad Woolhouse just walking up to him now, so it just shows the importance of quick recovery.
Bounced out. Griffiths tries to do the ruck work this time as it was a poor bounce. Galbraith doing the hard work in the middle as he so often does and tries to force it out. Umpire's calling play on. The ball's fed out to Paul O'Brien at the back of the pack and he drives the ball up to half forward.
Walker.
And a good mark's been taken there by Robert Walker.
And they lead 3-1 to 1-5 on the McKinnon Sports Medicine scoreboard.
Walker's kick's a beautiful kick and a good lead there from Smith in front of Hinchin, and Smith has taken the mark about 30 metres from goal. He's having a kick from about the identical position that Richard Schober had. the other end of the ground, of course, but just on a 45-degree angle, 30 metres out.
Kicking into a bit of a breeze, so he'll have to control this kick.
In he comes now, the old Melburnians full forward, looking for their 4th goal. Lays back on it, and just drifts
Safe
across.
from the cloud, it's only a point.
One behind, so 3-2-20. Old Melburnians move on to on the McKinnon Sports Medicine scoreboard, and Collegians are 1-5-11.
That's a pretty good result for Old Melburnians at the moment, because there's certainly the wind assistance down to the Glen Huntly Road end, which is where Collegians are kicking. The kick-in has found Pollock, fresh on the ground. The ruckman taking over from Warwick Green, and Pollock's long kick down the outer wing to the contest between Kerr and his opponent Theodore. A knock back into play, a run down the ground by Galbraith with a characteristic loping run, and a good mark from the Galbraith kick taken at centre-half forward by Damien Phillips. Damien going back for a set shot. Back to the play. Don't like that sort of thing happening amongst players. Anything could be happening ahead that you haven't noticed. But Phillips obviously fancies himself for distance, and with the wind behind him, that shouldn't be a problem. And a very important kick for the Collegian side by Damien Phillips.
Great kick by Galbraith from the wing position. Put it out in front of Phillips. 45 metres, the big fellow. Missed opportunity again. Hits the behind post on the full and out of bounds. They need to make something more of these, Mike.
They certainly do. He can't afford those missed. I just thought he could have got it on a little bit quicker. There were some options closer to the square. Tony Witt's trying to bring the ball back illegally. You can't do that when you're out of play, Tony. You've played enough football to know that. So he's forced to go back and kick over his mark. Richard Schober on his mark. So he's come along the members' side. Big pack of players. It's punched forward. It's taken by Lovett, who kicks on his left foot up. Almost a tripping free kick to Lake. The ball spills free for Richard Webb. He's had 2 bounces onto his right foot and kicks it in to the contest between Hinchin and his full opponent, but Hinchin's strength gives him the mark. He feeds off to Parkin, who goes to the outer side. So the ball swooping around in a large circle. Davison leads in the run to the ball. It's close to the boundary line, but falls over. And the umpire has called it out of bounds with a couple of bodies falling over the top of each other, right in front of the Ansett Australia sign on the outer side.
It was a terrific example of Stuart Hinchin's strength down there, wasn't it, when he just edges the player out?
Absolutely.
So the ball goes high into the Old Melburnians forward line. Oh, here's McMullen magnificently off the pack, on the right foot, as easy as you like. He says, thank you very much. And that's 4 points. Old Melburnians' 4th goal. And what a magnificent piece of roving there by a class player.
And the score reads 4 goals 2, 26 to 1 goal 5, 11. Old Melburnians currently leading this game very easily. Remember, you're listening to this broadcast on Southern FM 88.3. And we're back here at Elstonwick Park with another long shot for goal by Old Melburnians, but it's only drifted to the left-hand side and 1 point is registered. 4 goals 3 to 1 goal 5. Stuart Hinchin to bring the ball back into play for Collegians, and we're 23 minutes into the first quarter of the A-Section Grand Final. Doss.
Hanbury, long kick at goal. Just a minor score there as Hinchin kicks in. Kerr waited back for the ball, and perhaps when he should have moved forward to get it. They might pay for them as the ball's now with Griffiths. Griffiths a poor kick going in short, but it's picked up by Webb. Webb goes forward, and a fingertip mark there by Smith, not paid by the umpire. McMullen tries to come through again. Eventually Walker gets it out there towards Nichols. Nichols on the right foot kicks it across the face, and 1 behind. A mark there?
No, I don't think so. He didn't have control of the ball and went to another pair of hands immediately after his, of his own side. So good decision to play on call there by umpire Hinchin.
There was another example of the also the run from Jeremy Nichols coming right up from the full back line.
Hinchin goes out wide with the kick in, and Galbraith is loose. Oh, and crude work there by Brian, and gives away the 25-metre penalty.
And so it's very late on the scene, and it advances Galbraith well down towards the half-back flank, where in fact he would have marked that ball inside the 45-metre arc.
So Galbraith now goes in towards the centre. Keneally takes the mark unopposed there in front of Lovett. So Keneally's kick comes inside 45. Overrunning the ball there was Danzig. A snapshot there by Kerr from about 40 metres, and it goes across. Another opportunity missed.
It is an opportunity missed, and Kerr is usually a pretty good kick of the football and had a good run on that. He just dropped it a bit awkwardly to his foot in his haste. Certainly Collegians are prepared to concede the short kicking from full back, and they've been doing it regularly, old Melburnians, and they're not covering them up. So they're just kicking to Stuckey, another short one to Lovett, and now Thompson's running it. No, it's Hanbury running it around the wing, and Paul O'Brien forced over the line right in front of the commentary box at Alstonwick Park for a throw-in. Umpire Leah Gallagher's been very busy in the first quarter.
25 minutes gone in this first quarter. Bryan gets the knockout straight down to Hanbury. Hanbury was retarded though, had his arms pinned, but through comes O'Brien on the left foot. Ball bounces in front of the pack. Players go to ground. Bennett does the shepherding for Keneally, but he runs into a tackle there from Thompson. Tidying up there was Brummel trying to come through. Eventually it's with Wallace from Collegians. Wallace gets it up towards the half-forward line. O'Brien coming through again. Blind turns his way out of trouble. Gets the handball over there. Looks like it's looks like Hanbury over there. Nichols it is. And Nichols will take the free kick. He didn't have the football when he was tackled. Said umpire Gersh. So at half-back, Jeremy Nichols, the old Melburnian skipper, kicks the ball straight down the middle of the ground. Up towards half-forward, but there's two defenders there, and it's Pollock who marks it for Collegians. Pollock goes out wide looking for Kerr. The wind's starting to spring up here at Alstonwick Park, and Kerr, who was caught behind there, had no alternative in his leg, Simon Theodore. So Theodore on the outer wing position. Kicks up towards half-forward. Ball goes out wide. It's Smith and Hitchin. Hitchin didn't have the footy when he was tackled, and he'll take the free kick at half-back for Collegians. 4-4 to 1-6 on the McKinnon Sports Medicine scoreboard.
And Stuart Hitchens had a lot of work to do this quarter with the number of times that Old Melburnians have brought the ball forward. A long kick by Hinchin down the outer side, and a pack of players. Phillips was amongst them. It's knocked forward off the ground by, it looks like Kerr. Running through very courageously with his head down is Brad Woolhouse. That's not unusual for Woolhouse to show that much courage. It's still untidy, and the umpire has found a holding the ball decision. No, a holding the man decision. Paid to Jeremy Nichols, who runs on and kicks it back on the outer side. Picked up by Stuart Griffiths off the pack and kicked it forward. A tussle by Hinchin again with his strength near the square, and knocked through for a point, but a little bit dangerous because he didn't get a good purchase on his hit at that ball, and could have easily been an opportune goal by McMullen, who's very, very dangerous, Jeffrey.
Yes, he certainly is. He's an absolute headache for them at the moment.
Keneally's taken the kick in, and he's kicked it out there towards Kerr on the half-back line. Kerr now gets it up towards the half-forward line. Trying to run onto it out there, I think it was Davidson, but the ball beat both players over the boundary line. There'll be a throw-in on the half-forward flank for Collegians. 27 3/4 minutes gone in this first quarter. It's been a pretty productive one for Old Melburnians, who are 4-5 to Collegians 1-6.
And umpire Jeff Wright throwing this ball in front of the Vic Health sign. Comes over the back. No one has a decisive purchase of the ball, and there's a few bodies falling forward. Richard Webb was impeded and has been given the free kick by umpire Gersh. Webb on his left foot pops it up towards centre half forward, and the leading Old Melburnians player, Micah Berry, takes the ball. Nearly has his head taken off, swings around to his left-hand side, pops it out wide to Hanbury. Hanbury, who's very dangerous, kicks it back into the position where he should. His player had fallen over. There's a scrimmage of players. It's knocked to the ground, and I think the umpire will be forced to come in and ball this one up well inside the 45-metre arc for Old Melburnians.
So it's with umpire Wayne Hinton. Old Melburnians, another scoring opportunity here. Plenty of players go up. Griffiths tries to take it away from the pack, appealed for the free kick, wasn't forthcoming, and Stuart Hinchin once again tidies up the Collegians and knocks it through for one behind. So some alarming signs here for Collegians in this first term.
Trailing by 18 points, nearly at quarter time, 29 minutes have just gone. Keneally nearly marks the ball. It's knocked off the ground, but Keneally follows up. Should have had a free kick, not paid. McMullen has the ball, manages to evade a complete tackle. Who's that? Lovett with the ball again, handballing across. 25 Walker snaps it. It's grabbed in the pocket by Berry, and he's very close to the boundary line. In fact, The umpire has called it out of bounds just as the siren sounds at the 29-minute and 22-second mark of the first quarter to see Old Melburnians leading 4 goals 6. That's 10 shots at goal. 4 goals 6-30 to 1 goal 6-12. And a couple of those collegiate shots were very, very costly. Remember, you're listening to this broadcast on Southern FM 88.3. The other amazing thing, and of course it's much easier up here, Dos, isn't it? We all become excellent coaches up here, but I just can't believe how collegians are prepared to concede OMs the short kicking option, and they've done it 2 or 3 times consistently.
What I was interested in, the Teal Damien Phillips contest is quite interesting. I felt that Phillips had the better of Scott Teal in that quarter. He got his hands on the ball a bit, probably didn't take as many marks as he would have liked, but I think he just shaded Scott Teal in that quarter. And also I'm still interested in the Walker-Keneally lineup match-up, because Keneally certainly did run off Walker a couple of times in that quarter, and in fact got one of the long balls down to Phillips, who actually didn't finish off with the goal. But it'll be interesting to watch that as the game progresses.
Just while the ground's clearing, a large number of people out on the ground, of course. One of the great advantages of having a football, you can go out and hear the coach's address, you can have a kick of the footy, and Phil Stevens, the general manager, is herding a few people off. But while that is clearing, here's a quiz question for people that perhaps are listening on radio. At home, they can ring in on 531 8333, 531 8333. If you know the answer to the question, how many years is it since Old Melburnians won an A-section flag? That was quoted a number of times in the pre-match and again this morning, so perhaps there's a lot of people out there would know, or they could refer to their records. How many years is it since Old Melburnians has won an A-section grand final? 531 8333. Ring in and speak to Sue Anderson. Players are in readiness. The umpires have, the boundary umpires have returned to their diagonal corner. Umpire Gersh will take the bounce for this quarter. And we see the Scott Dwyer and Co. scoreboard reading. Old Melburnians 4 goals 6-30, leading collegians 1 goal 6-12 points.
So umpire Gersh about to get the second quarter underway, and let's hope collegians can hit back and get things on even terms at half time. So we're set up for a brilliant second half here. Ball forced forward here by Old Melburnians in rugby style after this first. Here's a chance for Thompson, who throws it quickly onto the boot. On front there was Keneally, and eventually Hinchin has to come through and tidy up again and whack it through for a rush behind. But good stuff there. I thought Thompson had a bit more time, Jeff.
Yes, he certainly did. He just seemed to rush the kick, didn't he, Doss?
Hinchin.
I noticed Parkins now picking up Richard Webb too. I think Keneally's gone on to McMullen.
So Galbraith brings it away to Bennett. Bennett gets the handball on.
Davidson.
Towards Davidson. Davidson kicks up towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance now as the big fellow Phillips kicks it up towards the top of the square. Schober knocks it down here. Lawson. Ball didn't bounce favourably for him.
Cruel bounce.
One behind.
Bounce. They did have a chance to run onto that if that only kept going forward. Instead it popped up in the air and Lawson overran the ball. Old Melburnians to kick back in. Let's see if they're given the short kick option again, and they are. Very bad manning up by collegians. Handball over the top to Witts. Witts is in a bit of trouble. He's back into the pack. Sousa with the ball. Chad Sousa under his left foot. Kicks it down. It wobbles towards the boundary line. Danny Thompson running at the ball. So too is Griffiths. It's knocked over the boundary line. Just underneath our commentary box here at Elstonwick Park, and umpire Jeff Wright will throw the ball back into play.
Yeah, they were under a little bit of pressure that time, but there it is again. Just a kick in, another good kick, and here's the ball on the centre wing. There's a great tackle there by Davidson. Was on Hanbury. Kerr gets it out. Hell without the football. Umpire said he was acting was Harrison. Umpire's calling play on now. As here it is back with Hanbury. Hanbury kicks the ball up towards the wing position, but drifting across there was Anthony Parkin, who takes the mark for collegians on the centre wing. Looking for some options further afield. Kicks the ball to the boundary line. Phillips was up a bit early. Ball comes to ground. Davidson threads his way through the pack, I should say, nicely, and kicks it up towards half forward, but a very good mark taken down there by Sousa.
Lovett.
Gets it on to Lovett.
Teal, back to Sousa.
Teal to Sousa.
That was like a training drill, those three handballs in a pyramid, and Sousa runs onto his left foot, kicks it down looking for Brommel, but roved by Griffiths. Griffiths handballs onto the captain.
Good tackle.
Jeremy Nichols is dragged to the ground. Play-on's been allowed to call. Parkin runs off with the ball. Changed his mind from a kick and handballs out to Galbraith in trouble. Nearly has his head taken off. Untidy passage of play. tackle. The ball exchanging between 3 or 4 bodies. It's thread out to Nichols. Nichols onto Brommel. Brommel onto Webb. Webb onto his left foot. Will pop this ball up in the air. This will really test out the forwards. And McMullen just read it perfectly. Waited for the flight of the ball and then zipped in front and took a mark. He's about 11, 12 metres out from goal on a very slight angle, and with his experience and skill should register a goal for the Old Melburnian side. A beautifully positioned ball by Richard Webb. Jeff Riley.
Yes, it was. He kicked it right into the spot where McMullen could really make the play there, and McMullen's experience was just obvious there.
Yeah, he'd like to have had some money there when the ball was in the air. He had his name on that one from a long way out. And some very, very slick handball by Old Melburnians in the midfield here. Started off by a brilliant one by Lovett, I think it was, who got it out of the pack here on the wing. And, gee, that was a good bit of footy.
3 minutes into the quarter, and 5 goals 7 to 1 goal 7 on the Scott Dwyer and Company scoreboard at Elstonwick Park as the ball's being brought back. And even the change by Luke Carlson onto the dangerous McMullen of Keneally has still not stopped McMullen's influence, because he took that mark with great judgment and kicked a goal. Umpire Hinton with the bounce.
So nearly 4 minutes gone in this second quarter. Up very early there in the ruck there was Green. Woolhouse coming through strongly, knocks the ball. Webb tackled there hard by Galbraith, but still Collegians get it away through Nichols. Nichols kicks it up, thumping knock there away by Keneally. Out here it comes towards Teal, is it? No, it's
Micah Berry. Micah Berry. Brommel.
Brommel at half forward. Oh, clever knock on there. Here comes, looks like Thompson. Thompson gets the ball over to Griffiths from 20 metres out. He shouldn't miss from there. And he hasn't, and he has Old Melburnians. 6 goal on the board, and things are looking fairly ominous here, Jeffrey.
Yes, they seem to be so sure with their hands. Whenever there's lots of bodies around, they're still able to feed the ball off really very, very conclusively, and they're just doing it quite easy at the moment.
2 goals in 4.5 minutes, and they've whipped out to a 30-point lead into this second quarter. Old Melburnians looking very, very ominous, and the signs are all bad at the moment for Collegians. They'll need to change this around very quickly.
Yes, they're under a bit of pressure and they're under a bit of siege here at the moment. There's a couple of quick goals to Old Melburnians, and they're away again, although Woolhouse, umpire said the player there in Webb didn't dispose of the ball in the correct manner, and Parkin takes the free kick. Kicks it up towards half forward, knocked away there by Nichols from the back. It's over with Davidson now from Collegians. Swings the ball back up towards half forward, knocked away there by Sousa. Through comes Theodore with some pace and some strength, and he takes a bounce, goes for a run out towards the half-back flank and drives a left foot kick up towards the wing. Thompson here for Collegians. The ball beats him over the line with Brummel from Old Melburnians, and there'll be a free kick. Good bit of dash there from Simon Theodore. 5.5 minutes gone, and the Scott Dwyer and Co scoreboard says Old Melburnians are 6-7, Collegians are 1-7. Knocked there by Green. Kick by Woolhouse was smothered. Ball's loose here and beats Thompson over the line. There's a change here for Collegians. Woolhouse goes off the ground, and coming on for Collegians
is Palmer. Don't know much about him. Gene Palmer.
So Harrison gets the kick from the boundary throw in there. Lovett slips over. Intercepted by Schober. Here's a chance now as the ball's with Warner. He can run up to the 45-metre line. He can take it along if he likes. He decides to kick from 40 and swings it across and through for one behind.
Lake made position too in the far pocket, and Warner backed himself in, and it just didn't come off. Bad play by Warner. Should have seen in the first quarter how some of the OMs kicks for goal were swung away by the wind, and that exactly did the same thing. Short kick in again by Sousa has found Paul O'Brien, last year's coach, last year's captain and coach. Backing back, kick to the outer side looking for Bryan, and an uncontested mark really on the half-back flank for Old Melburnians.
Play on.
He's called play on. An attempted smother by Galbraith has come off. It's rebounded to him. He feeds it back to Davison. Davison needs to get rid of this ball quickly. He's onto his left foot but slips as he kicks it. O'Brien intercepts and knocks it off the ground. Thompson tidies up very nicely and drops it out to Webb, who marks a very good mark in front of Anthony Parkin. Webb chips it over the top looking for Micah Berry. They run at him, but Micah Berry just bounces off them, feeds it out to Thompson. Thompson is taken very high on a down-the-field free kick, awarded by Wayne Hinton. Warwick Green a little bit untidy with his arm there, and Thompson that ball relayed down to Theodore. He's in the true centre forward position for a set shot, and he's a very long kick at the best of times, but this one drifts off to the left-hand side. Pushed it out, and 1 point only by Theodore to see the score go to 6 goals 8 to 1 goal 8 on the Scott Dwyer and Company scoreboard at Elstonwick Park, the home of amateur football.
So
Stuart Hinchin waiting to come in, and isn't there a difference between the kick-ins for the two sides? Hinchin has no options to consider. He has to hang on to the ball and wait until Palmer makes space for him. Griffiths takes up the mark, guards the mark while Palmer goes back. He's bringing it out to the members' side. It's a wobbly kick into the wind. Davison has to punch from behind. Micah Berry recovers the ball, tries to feed it out, is tackled, and yes, too long with the ball, Micah. Too long with the ball. A good tackle by Aaron Harrison, and Harrison will take the kick and a 25-metre penalty for failing to give it back quickly enough. Umpire Gersh very quickly on the scene, instilling a little bit of his authority on the game. Harrison with his left foot drives it forward to the looking in the searching area for Schober. It's knocked forward from him by Teal. Theodore running onto the ball, and he does have some pace. Theodore takes himself on, keeps the ball in play, rides the bump. Harrison tries to regather it. He does. He's down on his knees, but the handball searching for the Galbraith hands goes over the line and out of bounds. And a free kick has been awarded by Wayne Hinton for a little bit of after the play. By play, really, there's nothing in it, to Simon Theodore. Simon Theodore right on the wing, Doss.
Yes, umpire Hinton giving the free kick there. They did gain some meterage out of it though, Kerr. The free kick should have been 10 metres further up the field, but Davidson gets the handball over. Here's Palmer trying to have an influence as soon as he gets on the ground. Slipping over there at the crucial moment was Walker as he tried to pick it up. Eventually it's handball by Kerr. Thompson gets it over cleverly over there to the big fellow in green. Green gets it out wide. Galbraith under some pressure from Nichols. Now it's with Schober. Schober on his left foot. Tries to kick it up to half forward. Wallace got his hands to it. Umpires, the Collegians crowd are calling for a free kick as he was pushed in the back.
And it certainly was there. He's all over his back. Wallace should have been given the free kick. Lovett very crudely, but probably no other option. Had to climb over Wallace's back. But umpire Hinton will bounce the ball.
Yeah, I think they both waited for the other one to make the decision there somehow.
Now they make one, and it's a ruck infringement there against Big Brian, and it goes to Schober.
They need to make something out of this, Collegians.
Good kick by Schober. Goes right up to the teeth of the goal square. Loose ball now. Can they get a boot to it? There was a boot in there, I think, by Wallace it was. But just going through for the minor score.
And remember, you're listening to this broadcast on Southern FM 88.3.
Sorry? 4616. 4616.
Back here at Elstonwick Park, the ball has been brought back into play and it's on the outer side. Brommel has the ball and feeds it off to the running Griffiths. They're knocked forward into the path of a Collegians player. Warwick Green intercepts the ball, handballs out, looking for Thompson. Thompson handballs wider, looking for Gene Palmer. He's had a few touches since he's come on. Kicks up the outer side, it goes over the top of Steve Lawson, intercepted by the running Old Melbourne's player, feeds off the handball to Teal. Teal off to Witts. Witts, a very untidy kick under a bit of pressure. It's collected by Micah Berry. Wheels onto his right foot, measures the distance, drops it right into the square. And here's a chance for the Old Melbourne's players. No, defensive play by Collegians runs it over the line in the right-hand boundary line, right in front of the RACV travel sign here at Elstonwick Park. Doss.
Boundary throw-in, 10 metres out from goal for the OM side, who are looking far the better at the moment, looking far too slick for Collegians. As Lovett tries to do it on his own there. It's handballed over the top there by Brommel, it was, I think. Now it's with
Keneally underneath that pack.
And now it's with Palmer again, who's been in everything since coming on the ground. Snapped over the shoulder there by Griffiths up towards the forward line. Bennett with a big climb and spoils from behind and forces a throw in right next to the behind post. So another scoring opportunity for Old Melburnians. They lead by just under 5 goals here. 12 minutes into the second term. Boundary throw in the ruck contest there between Green. And it'll taken at the back there by Berry. Berry's snapshot for goal is inaccurate and 3 for 1 behind. 12 3/4 minutes gone on the Scott Dwyer and Co scoreboard here in the second term. Old Melburnians on the 6-9-45. 5 goals up on Collegians, who are 1-9-15 as Hinchin brings the ball back. Big thumping knock there by, that was Brummel. Knocks it down. Here's Lovett with a chance. Loose ball at half forward. Gets onto the left foot. Stabs a pass in and finds Thompson there unopposed. 30 metres out from goal. Another big chance for a goal here to the Old Melburnians, who look as though they are going from strength to strength in this game.
Once again, that's just that sheer certainty when they have possession of the ball. That was just a nice little short pass.
Andrew Thompson's made no mistake with that. The runner-up in the A section medal, Andrew Thompson, has penetrated the 2 uprights and scored another important goal for Old Melburnians. 7 goals, 9-51, leading Collegians 1 goal, 9-15.
Richard Chobers at centre-half forward now too, and Damien Phillips at full forward.
So a couple of changes by Collegians, but they certainly need to start exerting some pressure on Old Melburnians, as they are capable of getting what's a new term in football these days, their freewheeling play. As the ball's bounced, hits the deck again as no one gets a knockout. Through comes Lawson with some strength, trying to go all the way. Good tackle though, knocked back over the head there by Paul O'Brien. Griffiths came through, back to O'Brien. Bryan sends them back into attack again. Berry couldn't mark it. Crumbs are taken there by Webb. On the left foot from 30 metres. Bangs it straight through the middle. Another one to Old Melburnians. That's their 8. On the Scott and Dwyer and Co scoreboard, they move on to 8-9-57. Collegians are 1-9-15.
And Old Melburnians are running rampant at the moment. They're winning all the free balls. Their crumbing is far better. They're running with a lot more purpose at the football, putting their body in. And Collegians really need to get serious about this, or this game was gone by half-time. We're 14, nearly 15 minutes into this second quarter, and they currently lead 8 goals, 9-57 to 1 goal, 9-15 on the Scott and Dwyer scoreboard.
Ball bounced in the middle. No Ruckman getting a decisive knockout again this time. As through comes Theodore, knocks it out there.
Hanbury.
Into the path of Hanbury. Hanbury has got up forward here in, I think that
Berry.
player is Berry. Berry goes in short. Couldn't mark, there was Bennett. Going to the ground there was Walker. Knocks it back inside. Only into the path of Bennett, however. Gets a handball over there towards Green, the big fellow, who kicks it up towards the wing position. Players go to ground. At the back is Teal in front of Schober. Teal measures the handball out there towards Theodore. Picks the ball off his feet nicely and kicks a tumble punt up towards the forward zone, and a good mark there by Griffiths. Too strong on that occasion there for Palmer. Was thinking about playing on, but decides to go back and send it deep into the forward zone from 50 metres out. In fact, he's going back and he fancies his chances from here. Stuart Griffiths.
He's a fairly accomplished player, this fellow, isn't he?
He's played VFL, AFL football, Jeff. His kick's not going to make the distance. It's going to go to the square. It's attempted mark by McMullen, but it's pushed over the line for 1 point.
Has excellent recovery skills.
Just watch Hinchin on the kick in to see if they have any options, because he's now going the Old Melburnians path, and he's short passes out to Parkin, who then kicks long to the outer side, looking for Warner. Warner knocks it into the ground ahead of Lovett. It's tumbling ahead. Warner recovers well and runs over the boundary line on the far side near the light tower at Elstonwick Park.
So they look a tired unit, Collegians, Jeff, don't they, at the moment?
Yes, they do, and I was noticing that just towards the end of the first quarter, Mark, their legs certainly don't look very fresh at the moment.
And Pollock's coming back on, waiting at the interchange gate to interchange, of course, with Green. Collegians are using the tandem ruck on Bryan, and Bryan's mobility has been a decided advantage over the two Collegians ruckmen, who are a little bit slow and lumbering in their style, although taller.
So boundary throw in, out there on the outer side. Scrambly passage of play, eventually picked up by Galbraith. Comes through and kicks the left foot forward up to half forward. Taken now by Thompson. Thompson using his pace. Now gets it out wide, out in front of
Parkin.
Looks like Parkin. Parkin gets it back to Thompson. Can they set something up here, the Collegian side? As Thompson sends them up forward, but no, Witt's very strong, and good defence and a good strong mark in front of the pack. goes in short. He's got Sousa on the 45-metre line here. Thompson comes to
Who's
attend
played
the mark.
very well today. Chad Sousa's had a very, very good game so far.
Left foot kick. Parkin rose it off the pack. Free kick, advantage given. Good vision as he found out there Harrison, who wouldn't have gone as hard as his coach would have liked, I wouldn't have thought on that occasion, but Kerr hooks it back in, and the mark taken there by Nichols at half back. Tidying up nicely, gets a kick in. It's a poor one though, and Thompson missed what he should have taken. Eventually Harrison throws it out, says the crowd, to Kerr, and it's forced over the boundary line.
As the interchange ruck takes place right here for Collegians, and Jeff Wright, the umpire, to throw the ball back into play.
Throw in. Schober got the knock. Thompson getting a couple of possessions here. Left foot kick's a pretty good one. Can they make something of it? No, 2-on-1 again. And it comes out towards Teal. Stuckey took the good mark, handball it out to him. Eventually it comes out towards half-back. There's a chance now for Michael Lovett, who kicks it off the ground out there in front of Warner, and he'll force the boundary throw in out there on the outer wing.
The ball handling of Collegians is not sharp at all. There are 3 or 4 mistakes here in a row just in front of us by players who normally are sure ball handlers. So just amazing how confidence can go when things aren't running right for you.
Witt's up there doing the ruck work on the wing position. Going in there was Galbraith. Ball gets fed out. Here's a chance for Thompson on the wing. Can he pick it up? Can't do so. The boundary line beats him. 19 minutes gone in the second quarter, and the Scott Dwyer and Co scoreboard reads Old Melburnians 8-10-58. Lead Collegians handsomely at the moment, 1-9-15. Throw in. Knockout there by Pollock. Ball smothered. Chance there. Looks like it was Galbraith getting the ball out. Comes to Bennett now. Bennett comes up from half-back, runs through centre, takes a bounce. He can probably take another one. No, he feeds it over to Schober. Schober runs inside 45, and with the tumbling left foot kick, another missed opportunity, and they're squandering too many of those, Mike.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, they haven't gone forward too many times. You can hardly be in the contest if you kick 1 goal 10 out of the 11 times going forward a goal. A bad short pass in by, there they go again. A bad short pass in by Old Melbourne at that time. Aaron Harrison sweating behind, picked up the spilt ball from the overkick from Sousa, but he did not capitalise on it. And another point goes on the scoreboard, and that should have been a goal, Jeffrey.
Yes, he's made a couple of very bad mistakes, Aaron Harrison, in the last 2 or 3 minutes, actually.
Sousa this time kicks in. He decides to go long after his short attempt the previous one. Perhaps his only blemish for the day so far. As here comes Griffiths, one of Jeff Rowley's favourite players in the game. Pollock now gets the right boot and finds Lake. Michael Lake, who's marked just inside 45.
And it's a long kick into that wind, so he's going to have to look for someone or put it up to the square.
Be aiming from the right post from here, as most of them have drifted across the face.
A few leads on offer, but now he's opted for the long kick, whilst Ward Ambler looks like coming on, and Brian the ruckman's going to go off. So that'll be an interesting structure for the OM side without their ruckman on the ground, because Ward Ambler's a forward, not a ruckman. So they're going to put one of their tools, obviously, onto the ball.
Well, they've been using Brian very well too across the half-back line and doubling up on some of the forwards down, some of the Collegians forwards. So it makes a bit of difference now.
The ball's with Hanbury, who's brought the ball up towards half forward here. Mark taken there. Looks like it was Thompson, was it? Bringing the ball up towards the forward zone. McMullen overran it. Now the loose ball. Chance for Ward Ambler to get into it straight onto the ground. Ball still in the pack. Kicked off there, the ground there by McMullen. Now Webb trying to weave his way through. Good pressure there by Collegians as that player under the pack tries to get it out. Here's Thompson now. Thompson a chance. Beats the Pollock tackle and snaps over the shoulder and kicks a minor score.
And while we're waiting for this ball to be brought back into play, remember you're listening to this broadcast of the 1994 VAFA A Section Grand Final on Southern FM 88.3. And back here at Elstonwick Park, Old Melburnians leading 8 goals 11-59 to 1 goal 12-18. Well and truly in command of this game, and there's a ball up by umpire Gersh deep into the Old Melburnians 45-metre arc. Doss.
So the ball bounced. Umpire Gersh puts it down. Running onto the ball here is Hanbury. Umpire said he got a tackle too high there from Palmer, and umpire Gersh gives the free kick to Peter Hanbury, who'll line up from goals 45 metres out.
Some frustration there.
Yeah, some elements of frustration creeping into the Collegians game. They just can't get it working for them. The chip inboard to the totally unmarked Stuart Griffiths. Very bad play by Collegians to allow a player this dangerous to be unmarked right on the arc itself. Steve Lawson's taken up the position on the mark, guarding the mark itself. Griffiths again fancied himself. It's not that long a kick that he thinks he can get that, I don't believe, but he's going to put it to the square, certainly. It's right in the teeth of the goals. And off the off the goal post. Off hands onto the goal post for a minor score. Stuart Hinchin, the Collegians fullback, to have another one of his kicks. This will be 13, bring the ball back into play.
So the Collegians veteran this time goes in short to Parkin. Parkin once again goes short, and they bring it out well here this time, and it's marked there by Thompson. Good follow-up from Parkin, although he gets away now from Ward Amble, who did some chasing, and he kicks it up to half forward. Harrison got 2 bites of the cherry and taken the mark there at half forward. Left foot kick. Now the lead there from Big Phillips goes over his head and straight into the arms there of Scott Teal. So Teal now looking for some options. Now he's got one, a big one from Brommel. But he infringed there on Kerr, and it's a push in the back 50 metres out from the Collegians' goal. So David Kerr about to set something up for hopefully what can be a much-needed goal from Collegians. They've only kicked one at the moment in the game, and we're 24 and a half minutes into the second quarter. Old Melburnians have 8. As Kerr kicks a long ball in towards the goal square. Schober got his hands to it. Sousa's in underneath the pack. Tunnel balls it out the back, but the umpire, Wayne Hinton, calls for a bounce about 15 metres out from the Collegians' goal.
Anthony Parkin's limping, as I noticed him walking up the ground following his opponent, Micah Berry. Yes, he now changes over with Galbraith and picks up Richard Webb at the top of the 45-metre arc for Collegians.
Umpire Hinton puts the ball down to ground. There's a lot of players around the pack there. Witts is in there doing the tackling. You also have to ask the question, you'll see a couple of fellows from Collegians with big heavy knee bandages. You mentioned Davidson earlier on, Woolhouse also, and perhaps the fitness of those players could be questioned also coming into a grand final. But here is Griffiths with a kick, and under a bit of pressure, only succeeds in putting it over the line in the full. And the free kick will be taken there by Michael Lake, who's deep in the pocket in front of the coach's box there.
He's not going to score a goal on that angle with this wind.
He's on the left foot.
They need to manufacture something, Collegians. He's had a very good attempt at it, I might add. A very good attempt. But only 1 point.
So one behind there to Michael Lake, and on the Scott Dwyer and Co scoreboard, Collegians move on to 1:13.19. Old Melburnians 8:12.60, coming up to 26 minutes gone. And the ball's back in the goal square there with Chad Sousa, who kicks the ball out towards half-back, and Scott Teal takes a very good mark at the pack there in behind Schober. Handballs it on.
Webb.
There's Webb. Webb, poor kick from him though. He was looking for the lead from Walker, but intercepting there was Danny Thompson. Thompson out towards Davidson. Davidson in towards Kerr. Free kick there to
against
Davidson.
Walker. Just a bit late, Rob Walker then. Handballs back in Kerr to Davison. Davison on his left foot kicks it forward, but the very tall hands and arms of Simon Brommel repels another Collegians forward move. Brommel with a kick, working to bring the ball down the ground, looking for some leads. A bit of mobility by Walker at centre half forward. Danzy punches from behind. Kicked off the ground by Theodore, comes out to Davison, but he misjudges the ball. Ward Amblers picks him up. He has to avoid a tackle by Parkin, but it's a great tackle by Parkin. Met him face on. Takes a bit of courage to do that, and he tackled him very well and gets a free kick. He plays on and handballs out to Kerr. Kerr chips the ball out towards the wing, looking for Lawson and Galbraith. Galbraith running with the flight of the ball, shows a lot of courage and marks the ball. We need something from Galbraith if Collegians are to get back into this game. Galbraith kicks it forward, looking for Schober. It comes off his hands. Lawson takes the spill, but the ball goes towards the boundary line, and finally Jeremy Nichols is content to see it go over the line. and it's going to be thrown back into play by umpire Jeff Wright, right alongside the interchange gate at Elstonwick Park.
27.5 minutes gone in the second quarter. Down it comes. Good work there from Bromwell. Got it down to Nichols. Nichols clears it away from the pack. Fly there was from Walker. Couldn't take the mark.
Palmer.
Coming through is Palmer. In hot pursuit was Thompson. Good pressure from that player. Now it's with Nichols if he can get his hands on. He can't, but Bromwell threads his way through, the big fellow. And a beautiful kick. And on the lead there is Hanbury, and he's been paid the mark. Did he have that long enough, Jeffrey?
No, a bit generous. No way then. That's no mark.
So Hanbury.
It's what you call an anticipation decision by umpire Gersh then. He thought he was going to take it. Bad collision by two Collegians players down in front of us. They knocked each other down, Palmer and Schober.
So Hinchin clears the Hanbury kick away now and brings it back from whence it came. The big fellow, that was Bromwell, got his hands to it. Here's Hanbury again. Griffiths goes down, cleverly keeps the ball in, or did he? No, he didn't umpire, so it was out of bounds. And there'll be a throw in. So coming up to half time, 8-12-60 Old Melburnians, Collegians 1-13-19. Pollock doing the ruck work. Looks like Kerr forcing it over the line. On the throw in. 28.5 minutes gone. So Old Melburnians well in control here. Through the hands of Thompson. Here's Theodore. Kick was smothered. A good pace there from Berry. Berry decides to take a bounce. He's going backwards a bit here. He's now caught by Harrison, but gets it out there.
Lovett.
To Lovett. Theodore can't control it. Under some pressure there from Parkin. Ball now lands on that player's chest, and Theodore dives on top of him. And it'll be a ball up there by umpire Peter Gersh. There is the half-time siren. 29.25 minutes gone. And Old Melburnians 8-12-60 lead Collegians 1-13-19 at half-time here in the VAFA A-section grand final.
And this broadcast is being brought to you from Southern FM 88.3.
And we can suddenly see an OM side start to get a few fumbles up, and Collegians again in past grand finals is
make wholesale changes to their team, Jeff? Or
no, I'd go back to the original lineup. I don't see that there's a great deal of value, Doss, in making too many changes. I mean, I think they need Schober down in the fourth. They were early in the game because OM certainly started to control the game from midfield.
So you're saying show some confidence in the players that you selected.
Absolutely.
And put them back into those positions and just go for it. You're saying that Collegians have been a little bit reluctant to get involved in the physical confrontations that must take place to win a grand final.
No, more first for the ball, so therefore they're getting the value of the umpiring decisions. I don't think Collegians lack any real commitment in terms of body under normal circumstances.
Remember, on the Jefferson Ford scoreboard, 8 goals, 12-60 Old Melburnians to 1-13-19 Collegians. So Doss, take it away.
Wayne Hinton puts the ball into the turf and starts the third quarter here at Elstonwick Park. Here's a chance now. Some good possession there from Davidson. Gets the ball up towards the forward line. Here's a chance for Woolhouse to run onto it, but Witts is happy to see it over the line and a throw in. So a good centre square possession there to Collegians, just what they were looking for. And let's see if they can bang a few early goals on here.
See, Woolhouse isn't moving too confidently, Doss. The way he ran after that ball, he was almost stiff-legged.
He's carrying a very heavy knee bandage on the left leg. Pollock trying to force his way through as there's a scramble of players here. That's O'Brien. Got the ball out towards Nichols. They clear it through half-back. Off the hands there of Hanbury. And there'll be a boundary throw in on the 45-metre line. Around from the Collegians' goal in the opening minute here of the third quarter. Conditions getting reasonably dark and fairly coolish at Elstonwick Park as the Seagulls move in. Boundary throw in. Knockout was won there by Pollock. Thompson got the handball over there towards Davidson. Ball comes back through Harrison, but the mark taken there by Simon Theodore, who drifted down from the centre. That long left foot kick goes out towards the wing position, and the mark taken out there by Hanbury. So Hanbury out there on the half-back position for Old Melburnians. Brings the ball up past the wing position. Chance now going to ground there for Collegians with Parkin. Out it goes there to Palmer, who has a wild kick at the ball and only sees it go over the line in the full And a free kick looks like going out there to Andrew Thompson.
Warner's at centre half forward for Collegians, and Phillips is off the ground at this stage.
Big leap there from Brommel. Ball comes to ground though, however. It's eventually got out towards Danny Thompson. Gets around Walker. Kicks up towards the wing position. Bryan couldn't hold the mark, falling back. Davidson knocks it on. Loose ball now. Chance there for Harrison. Harrison brings the ball in towards the 45-metre zone for Collegians, and a nice mark in the pack has been taken by Richard Schober, who quickly gets it on there to Michael Lake, who has marked 15 metres out from goal, 20 metres I should say, directly in front, and should have no problems from there.
Quick thinking by Schober, because Lake is a far more reliable kick than Shobes.
He's also a white prize old Collegian too, mate.
Well, he hasn't let you down, Jeffrey, because he's put it right through the centre, and a much-needed goal by Michael Lake to take Collegians onto their second goal for the day. And it seems an indictment, doesn't it, of a forward line to say you're only kicking a second goal into the third quarter. But 2 goals 13, trail 8 goals 12. And a pretty good piece of bodywork done in the pack there by Woolhouse to set up that marking possibility for Schober. The ball back with umpire Gersh in the centre of the ground to bounce the ball.
So just what Coach Lee Carlson would have asked for at half-time, that all-important first goal in the third quarter, which they have. Can they build on from here? As Galbraith gets the ball out of the centre again. Chance there for Harrison. Used the body nicely. Plays on straight away. Kick smothered. However, well done there by O'Brien. Coming through was Warner. Couldn't quite take possession. Thompson knocks the ball back into the path of Lawson. Lawson forces it on towards Wallace. Wallace goes to ground and loses possession. Diving on top of him there was Nichols.
All of a sudden there's a bit of urgency, isn't there? Just in
yes, there certainly is.
Trailing by just under 6 goals, the Collegian side. Trying to narrow this deficit. They've got a free kick here. Diving in under the pack. There was Lawson. And he'll take the free kick.
I need that deep down to near goals and someone to run onto the crumb.
So Steve Lawson, about 55 minutes. A pretty crowded forward line at the moment, but he kicks it out wide towards the pocket. Schober comes out and takes another mark. Out there in front of Stuckey. And he'll take a set shot from 40 metres.
Stuckey's complaining to one of his teammates about not getting involved in that passage of play, but I think Stuckey was just clearly outled by Schober. Important kick this of Schober on his left side. And he's kicked it.
Very good kick by Richard Schober. And he urges his teammates on to try and get something going. They are winning the ball out of the centre, which is very important here at Elsternwick Park, and they kick their second goal in this third quarter, their third for the match on the Jefferson Ford scoreboard at the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. Collegians are 3-13-31. They trail Old Melburnians by 29 points. They're on 8-12-60.
I thought Harrison's bodywork was important there too, Mike. I think there was a block in there.
Yes, certainly was. There's a few more Collegians players putting their body in, and that's exactly what you asked them to do in the rooms, Jeffrey, if they had that chance.
Those all important off-the-ball statistics. Also important now as the ball knocked on there by was the big fellow in Bryan. The ball comes out here. Parkin kicks it out towards the wing. Running first for it was Palmer. Palmer picks it up nicely, gets a good left foot kick in here. Or mismarked there by, looks like it was Werner, perhaps, but did well to recover. Gets it out to Thompson. Thompson swings onto his left foot. Chance for Schober again, but Stuckey, it wasn't Stuckey. It was Chad Sousa.
Chad Sousa
doing the spoiling.
Spoiling Michael Lake.
So it was Lake, not Schober.
They look alike, although a little bit smaller version, Lake.
Danny Thompson needed to get that ball inside then, but
yes.
he forced it around to the boundary line.
So boundary throw in. Hands off the Pollock. Plenty of players in the pack. It's very congested. But Warner gets the ball over to Lake. Lake loses the ball on the tackle. Here's Harrison. Strong work from him. Pollock was under some pressure. Got a quick kick. Tidied up there by O'Brien to Chad Sousa. Loose handball by that player. Now the chance for Thompson. There's some willing bodies going in now. They've just lifted a little bit Collegians, but the umpire said that young fellow on the bottom of the pack
I think it
was Danny Thompson, was it? No, it was Kerr.
A bit red hot there.
Didn't hit the ball out of the pack.
Michael Berry plays on, and Kerr is taken out of the contest with a well-timed Shepherd, but Pollock intercepts and marks close to the boundary line in front of, or just behind Robert Walker. So he kicks the ball back down, searching along the wing, looking for a Collegians mark. O'Brien tidies up behind. Thompson takes the ball, handballs over the top to Jeremy Nichols, who kicks in mid-air off the ground, and the mark is taken by Andrew Wallace. Wallace plays on. Not a good handball. Parkin's forced to go back into traffic, but he gets out of trouble. flicks onto his left foot, brings it out looking for Lake, but just doesn't carry far enough, and O'Brien intercepts. O'Brien, with his experience, read that perfectly. Fed off the handball to Brian. O'Brien to Brian. Brian looking out for Griffiths. Griffiths takes a big jump from behind, but the height of Pollock is too much. It is around his neck, and he has taken it over the boundary line before that happened. And so we see Leah Gallagher, the boundary umpire, going to throw this back into play right in front of us here at Elsternwick Park.
Doss, so full credit to Collegians. They're fighting their way back in here, but they need to score some goals while they're doing this. There's a chance here for Kerr. Scragged to the ground there by Nichols. Picked up here by Webb. Webb now on the right boot, kicks it up towards half forward, and the mark taken there by Walker. Plays on straight away and centres the ball up. Chance here for Smith. Sorry, it wasn't Smith, it's McMullen. McMullen used the body well. The ball sits for him, 20 metres out from goal. Evades a tackle, and on the left foot, it's all class from McMullen. He puts the steadier through for Old Melburnians. 9 goals, 12-66. They move on to Collegians of 3-13-31. Magnificent stuff again for McMullen, Jeffrey.
Yes, it was. He just seems to have so much time, doesn't he? And whenever he gets onto that left foot, he's very, very confident when he does shoot for goal.
He evaded 2 tackles, and they perhaps should have claimed him on one of those tackles at least. But has great peripheral vision, obviously, McMullen, and sensed them coming at him, and he just moved his body slightly. So we now see an important reply goal by Old Melburnians and take them onto the Jefferson Ford scoreboard, 9-12 to 3-13. Hinton bounces.
Thompson does the ruck work there. Through comes Webb. Webb tries to go all the way through the centre square. Couldn't do so as it's repelled there by a Collegians player. That was Wallace. Gets it back in towards the centre. Griffiths knocks it out. Now Kerr gets the long searching hand pass out to Theodore, who'll thump it long with that left foot. It's a tumbling punt kick, and Pollock gets back and takes a well-judged chest mark. Now switches play across to the member's side of the ground. Palmer uses some pace. The ball didn't bounce too kindly from him. Lovett controls it well. Flicks the handball back into Brommel. Brommel centres the ball up to the goal square, but Pollock once again in the last line of defence takes a mark. He's got Bennett long calling for it, so too is Kerr. Lovett knocks his opponent down to the ground in Parkin, but Bennett now. Bennett kicks it up towards the wing position through the legs of O'Brien and Davidson. Davidson doubles back well. Now Werner hangs on the position, gets it out to Davidson. Good evasive skills from that player, but he slips over at the crucial moment. And a handball there by Teal. Gets it on to Thompson. Thompson's kick to the lead of Smith is a beautiful kick. Smith couldn't hang on to the footy. Kicked off the ground there by Parkin, I think it was. Now it's with Webb at 45. Moves on the left foot. Kicks towards the goal. It's a beautiful looking kick from Webb. A good shepherd by Griffiths too. And full points to Old Melburnians. That's their 10th. On the Jefferson Ford scoreboard, Old Melburnians 10-12-72. Answer those 2 goals of Collegians, who are on 3-13-31.
And that's Webb's second goal on his characteristic left foot. Long searching handball by Micah Berry brought that ball back into the path of the running Webb. And they've replied very quickly to the 2 Collegians goals. So we're back pretty square from where we were, with umpire Gersh walking in to bounce the ball.
Right back in the centre of Elsternwick Park, and down she goes. Pollock gets the knock. Goes up towards the half-forward line. Nichols tries to control it, but Harrison comes through well. Gets it on the right foot and kicks it out wide. But this time in front of Schober is Stuckey. Takes the ball out towards the boundary line and goes for the safety of that line, and there'll be a throw in at half-back for Old Melburnians. We're almost 10 minutes gone in the third quarter. 10-12-72 Old Melburnians, Collegians 3-13-31.
And we're listening to this broadcast on Southern FM 88.3.
He's got good hand.
And back here at Elsternwick Park, Collegians have come forward and kicked a point from a set shot from Richard Schober, and the kick-in has again found an OMs player, Paul O'Brien, with the ball.
Bringing Woolhouse off, Collegians.
O'Brien short passes to Sousa. Sousa handballs out to the running Hanbury, who's got lots of space out in his wing and can feed it off inside to Micah Berry if he needs to. He doesn't. He takes 2 bounces and kicks it up to the half-forward line, searching for a mark by the OMs player. Walker was up high and taken the mark. He handballs immediately to the running Micah Berry, who followed on that good work. kicks it a little bit too long, and Hinchin takes a mark from behind, intercepts, handballs out to Kerr. Kerr handballs to Bennett. Bennett runs into trouble, picked up by Lawson. Lawson scrubs the kick out of the centre. Parkin runs onto the bouncing ball. He kicks it long, searching for a mark by Collegia's player, and he doesn't let him down, Damien Phillips. He's taken the mark about 35 metres out from goal, directly in front of Tony Witch.
Just
and
coming on
moved by the bench, wasn't it?
Yes, he was the player who replaced Woolhouse. So, big Damien Phillips now with a chance to kick Collegians' 4th goal. In he comes now, kicking from just inside 40 metres. Drop punt kick, looks pretty good. The Collegians players in the square like it. The goal umpire likes it also. So Collegians kick their 4th goal. 4-14-38. Old Melburnians 10-12-72.
And a pretty important goal, and it never looked like missing. So perhaps a confidence-lifting mark and goal by Damien Phillips. Jeff's been a big rap for this player since this final series where he's shown a bit of mobility at centre-half forward, and he's now playing at full forward on Tony Witts.
Well,
and I'm sure they're looking for something out of him now.
Yeah, because in days gone by, Mike, he certainly, mobility wasn't his strong point, was it?
No, not at all, Jeff. Bounce of the ball in the centre. Brian knocks it down. It's gone to nobody in particular. A kick off the ground by Jeremy Nichols. Out to Theodore, picks up the crumbs. Kicks it up in the air, but the wind takes it out wide. It runs through the running arms of Jimmy Bennett. It's gathered in by Hanbury, who's going to bring it back inside, looking for an Old Melburnians player. Micah Berry up high. Spills the mark, knocks it down. It's picked up by the dangerous McMullen. McMullen's wields, pulls it back a bit too far and has kicked a point. But again, that danger, ever present, of Ian McMullen near goals.
Very much so. He's very elusive up on that forward line. 10-13-73 Old Melburnians. Collegians are 4-14-38 on the Jefferson forward scoreboard. 13 minutes gone in the 3rd term as the veteran Stuart Hinchin brings the ball back in for Collegians. It's a good kick. Oh, big leap there from Harrison. Couldn't hang on to the ball though. Out it comes. They're away though. The handball through Wallace. Sets up Palmer. Palmer goes to the lead of Phillips, and he's taken the mark there in front of Stuckey, and he has another chance. And it's a 25-metre penalty as well. Stuckey going on with the business after Phillips took the mark. So he'll go to 10 metres out, point blank range, and a chance to put Collegians' 5th goal on the board. So they're just edging their way back bit by bit, Jeff.
Yes, it was the old-fashioned straight down the middle of the ground, wasn't it, Doss? And Stewie got the ball out well, and Harrison finished it off with a very, very good pass to Phillips, and Phillips is going to kick his 2nd, which he does quite easily.
So Phillips kicks his 2nd for this quarter, and Collegians on to 5-14-44. Old Melburnians 10-13-73. 14 minutes gone on the Jefferson forward scoreboard.
And surely the lessons there is that Collegians players should see that. Go direct on this ground with the wind and you're a chance to kick goals. Muck around out in the flanks or chip and short pass, and you're in all sorts of trouble on turnovers.
It's interesting, Mike, throughout the final series you continue to see in all grades the old light cow syndrome coming in where the ball is consistently kicked into those dead pockets.
Absolutely. The emergency umpire Michael Snedden brought out the replacement ball. That last one of Phillips being kicked over the fence, and so a new ball on the ground. Wayne Hinton to bounce the ball in the centre of the ground, and Wayne's been bouncing very well today, Doss.
Yes, this one's no exception. It's a beauty. Straight up in the air. Both ruckmen go up early, but Pollock got the knock. Missing the ball there was Harrison. Tackle there by Kerr was on Griffiths when he didn't have the football, and umpire Peter Gersh gives him the free kick. So there's a bit of urgency now in the Collegians camp. They're trying to muster something here. Jeremy Nichols looking for some options further afield. Takes plenty of time. Kicks to the true centre-half forward position. Coming through there was Palmer, who's been lively since coming off the bench. Trying to flick it back there was Smith. Here comes this isn't McMullen. This is
Micah Berry.
Berry. Smith tries to go in. Wallace gets the ball out to Lawson. Long handball out into the path of Kerr. Kerr gets the ball further afield. There was Palmer, got it on nicely to Bennett. Bennett now kicks the ball up towards Schober and Witts. Punched away there by Witts. Roved well there though by Harrison chips it over towards Lake. The ball's gone too far for him, heading towards the boundary line. Lake keeps it in, beats the tackle there from Scott Teal, but in doing so the umpire said that it was over the line and there'll be a boundary throw in.
I'd say it was overridden from here, Doss.
Well, they ran in numbers there, Collegians, and that's an encouraging sign. The ball comes back into play. Pollock up, but over the back from behind. Bryan negates that. It goes to the ground, and the umpire will have to ball this up as there's 3 bodies over that ball. Could not possibly get it out or award a free kick. Wayne Hinton, the umpire's done a very good job today, as indeed has Peter Gersh. And he's going to ball this up about 10 metres inside the 45-metre arc for Collegians. They need a possession and they need a goal here very quickly, Collegians, to keep the momentum going. A bit of tangle of arms. No one really decisive. It's knocked towards the boundary line and it will be forced to be thrown in by Leah Gallagher, the boundary umpire, only about 10 metres further on and very close to Lee Carlson, who is exhorting his players to greater effort from the coach's box.
So boundary throw in, 50 metres out from the goal of Collegians. Kicking to the city end of Elstonwick Park here. Harrison rolls off his back. Thompson takes it. Flicks it back there to Christian Davidson. A good kick in towards the goal square. Plenty of players up. The ball's now loose. Handball out there by Schober, and Harrison kicks a poor one straight across the goals. Could have lifted them a bit, Jeff.
Yeah, that wasn't a waste. I mean, Schober worked so hard. He got his hands to the ball in the marking contest, couldn't hold it, worked hard, got the ball out to Harrison. It was a very indiscriminate sort of a kick, wasn't it?
And so the ball's going to be brought in. Teal tried to take it, but the umpire rightly in control forced Witts back to take the kick. He's going to kick over the man on the mark, Schober. Kicks it to the outer side, searching for Bryan. Bryan up from behind, but knocks it forward. Roved by Thompson, who's played a very good game. Andrew Wallace tried to recover the bouncing ball, but it was a cruel bounce. Went off at right angles, as good as the Shane Warne leggy, and over the line and out of bounds.
They crumb very well, don't they, to those pack situations, OMs?
Throw in again. Go Doss, please.
Throw in at half-back. Here's Webb now, doing some work, trying to get it further afield. Handballs in front of Walker. Walker can't take possession. Scrambly passage. Through comes, I think it was at Lovett out there. Now it's back to Walker. Tries to knock the ball on, but Lawson, good play from him. Long handball out towards Galbraith. Galbraith gets it off quickly to Palmer. Palmer does likewise, but misses his target in Kerr. Now coming through was Berry, taken there by O'Brien. O'Brien gets it to Theodore. Theodore's kick was intercepted there by Danny Thompson now. Good long handballs out there to accommodate Parkin. Parkin handballs further afield. Well done by Warner. Evades one tackle, but a brilliant smother there by Theodore. But they have the numbers, Collegians, although a fumble there by Palmer. Now it's with Teal. Teal backpedals, gets it out to his big ruckman there in Bryan, who kicks a loose ball. The ball's free, 20 metres free. Racing for the ball now is Steve Lawson. Needs some shepherding there, which he gets. Has trouble picking the ball up. Now does so, and in the kicking motion, the boundary umpire said you carried it over the line, and there'll be a throw-in, much to the disappointment of Steve Lawson's and the Collegian side.
Yeah, should have made more of that, Steve. Had a bit of space. Just went a bit too close to the line in kicking and took him over the line in the action. Good call by Leah Gallagher.
19 minutes gone in this third quarter. He tries to make amends, does so with some good heavy work, allows a passage there for Galbraith to kick a long ball up to the half-forward line. A bit of wrestling going on there between Lake and Chad Sousa. The ball still in play. Out wide, Nichols has taken off the ball. Through comes Stuckey. Now, Big Phillips has it. Handballs to Galbraith, who pumps it long again. Schober's got 2 to beat. He goes to the ground. Witts thumped away there by Teal. Ball goes out wide. Here's a chance for Wallace on that slippery practice wicket area. He handballed the ball towards the boundary line, but the umpire said he got one too high.
Yeah, crudely tackled by Hanbury. Bit of very experienced play by Wallace then to get that free kick.
Clever play, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had to too, because they were well and truly outnumbered and would have run the ball away on the far side. So here they have set up with a set shot for goal. It'll be a difficult kick in there, but perhaps to the square, and Schober might be able to convert something, or Pollock's down there as well. So he's taking a lot of time with this kick.
I think he'll get the distance, Mike.
Very important kick. Left foot kick from Wallace. Not a bad one, just missed to the near side and registers one behind. So Collegians move on to 5:15:45, trailing Old Melburnians 10-13-73 at the 20-minute mark of the third quarter. That's on the Jefferson Ford scoreboard.
And waiting for Sousa to bring the ball back in. He's kicked in consistently today rather than the true fullback Stuckey. He looks for Teal. The ball's knocked out of Teal's hands. It's gathered very quickly by Steve Lawson, who pumps it back to centre half forward, full forward position. But Sousa, following up his work, has marked, plays on immediately, gives it off to his captain Nichols. Nichols runs up the centre looking for the ruckman Bryan. Pollock punches from behind. Disciplined play. Kerr takes it, but a little bit slow.
Oh, too high.
It was too high, but he should have had that pumped out to Parkin much quicker than that. and so Brian gets the benefit of a dubious free kick. Brian for Old Melburnians tries to kick short, finds Webb. Webb on his left foot kicks long. It's a high ball. They've got to wait under it. Smith gets into a good position. Brummel, I should say. Galbraith takes the spill, kicks it forward, but lands into the hands of Scott Teal. Scott Teal kicks it diagonally across the ground, looking for Brian. Brian feeds it back to the running Stuckey coming up the centre of the ground, who kicks it long. A punch forward by Thompson for OMs. There's two Thompsons playing. Theodore gets into the end of a loose ball. He's going to bring that back towards goal. And he has a shot, but it goes across the face of goal. Parkin has a chance near the boundary line. I think is content to run it over the line. And remember, you're listening to this broadcast on Southern FM 88.3. Back here at the park, there's been an infringement in front of goals, but it's going to the Collegians player in defence, and so Stuart Hinchin will take the kick. No, Anthony Parkin, who chips it out into the pocket to Keneally. Keneally runs into some space, kicks it long down the wing looking for Harrison, but Nichols shows greater judgment and from behind manages to edge him out. Marks the ball, kicks it forward looking for the lead. It's knocked to the ground. Lawson's body's in underneath. Griffiths gets one high. The umpire calls play on. Unsided. Galbraith picks up the spill, kicks it forward. Theodore's watching the bounce of the ball. Christian Davison runs through and gathers, feeds out of searching handball to Kerr. Kerr again too slow. That's twice in as many minutes. David Kerr's been too slow giving off that ball, and the rebound has seen it go forward for Old Melburnians. They've got 3 or 4 options here. Brummel, wasteful shot at goal. Could have fed it off to 2 or 3 different players then. A long shot. Has forced it out on the full, and Parkin to bring it back in. Parkin kicks forward. It's a little bit under-kicked. It's knocked along the ground, but McMullen's got it. He's tackled. He's knocked it forward. There's a pack of players. Collegians in at it again. Keneally underneath the pack. Body's falling forward, and the umpire's going to have to ball this up. And there hasn't been a lot of ball-ups today, Dos.
No, there hasn't. Griffiths coming off the ground as a result of that high blow he received. And
Zani Yusinov
is a good name for you, Jeff.
Yeah, little player, Zani, very small,
Yeah,
a lot of heart, very quick. Knocks it over the line by Pollock, and so we're going to have a boundary throw in right in front of the Old Melburnians coaches box, and Roger Ellingworth and his match committee. I noticed Paul O'Brien's off the ground too. I'm sure they'd be reasonably satisfied at this period of time, 24 minutes into the third quarter.
And he's taken 2 of his experienced players off there, just giving them a breather before the last quarter. Both O'Brien and Griffiths are off the ground. But now the ball is with Lovett, who pumps it inside 45 for the Old Melburnian side, but well taken there by Wallace. Handballs on to Parkin. Parkin now goes out to the lead of Galbraith, who's made some space out on the outer wing. In pursuit is Theodore. A good handball over the top to the running Bennett. Good running from him. Has trouble controlling the bounce, and as a result makes a very poor handball to Phillips. Another missed opportunity there as Jeff Rowley nods his head in disgust. As Webb now gets his kick in towards the centre of the ground. Running at it there was Pollock. Did well to get his hands on it and keep the ball in front of him. Coming through there now was Cam Thompson, who's just come onto the ground. In there was Brummel trying to get the ball out, and there'll be a boundary throw-in. So Bennett, a bad mistake there, Jeff?
Oh, very bad.
Yes, it was. Yeah, very bad error there. Very costly, those sorts of things.
Good turnover, and just for a commentator's nightmare, we now have 3 Thompsons on the ground. 2 brothers for Old Melburnians, 7-11, and of course Danny Thompson, 32 for Collegians. Parkin takes the result of the ruck contest and kicks it forward, and a fingertip juggling mark running with the flight of the ball is Christian Davidson. Christian, who has his left knee, his kicking leg, very heavily bandaged, has gone back and is composing himself. Will make the distance, I feel. It's not a bad kick of the ball, Davidson. Spent a year at Carlton. It's a lovely kick by Davidson.
Beautiful
right in the centre. Richard Shover was clapping that ball from 15 metres out. That's how confident he was that it had both the line and the distance, and a very, very needed goal by Christian Davison for the Collegian side takes him on to 6 goals, 15-51, trailing Old Melburnians 10-13-73 on the Jefferson Ford scoreboard, and they're back in here with a chance, Jeffrey.
Yeah, terrific effort by Pollock there, I thought. I mean, he really did make sure he got his hand to the ball and kept it, because they were in trouble. If that ball had gone past Pollock, there was a couple of OM spikes ready to swoop on it and send it right down the long way.
So the ball bounced in the middle again. Now it's a chance for the big fellow in Brian to get the ball out. Eventually getting it out there was it
Hanbury.
Hanbury, well taken there by Thompson. This is Cam Thompson kicking the ball up in towards the forward zone, but well marked in front there by Stewie Henson, who has had the better of Smith today. Gets it out towards Bennett. Bennett kicks it out wide. He's found Kerr, who's made some space on the wing position, being held up there by Hanbury.
Good courage by Kerr. He had to have a player running straight into his face, and he took that mark.
Kicks long now, looking for Phillips. Phillips got his hands to it. Well roved there, though, by Chad Sousa. The Collegians crowd called for the mark, but the umpire said play on. As Sousa now brings it down with a bad kick and only finds Pollock. Pollock gets it over towards Kerr, who gets it on to Bennett. Bennett drives with a low drop punt kick. Off the hands there of the pack. Roving it is Harrison. Harrison gets it onto Parkin, who's come down the ground, and the left foot kick out to the lead of Schober. Just out in front of him. Pushed in the back there by Witts was the umpire said no, and there'll be a boundary throw in.
Bit of experience there by Witts, because he knew the umpire was a long way from the action, and he did grab Schober's jumper and then push him as well.
So they're inside 4 goals, Collegians, at 6-15-51. Old Melburnians at 10-13-73 on the Jefferson Ford scoreboard. As the ball comes off the boot there of Berry. Berry now gets the kicking off the ground. Through comes Kerr with a bit of dash. Was he tripped up there? Umpire said no, but he got one too high, and he'll take the free kick. He looks as though he's in a bit of trouble.
He's had a couple high in this period of play occur. One of them he was awarded a free kick against him when it was clearly his, but we were on the different side to the umpire, so that can be perhaps the reason for that. But Kerr is in a bit of trouble, and someone else may have to take this kick. We've got Parkin gesticulating to the bench, looking for a trainer to come out.
I think he copped the boot right across the head then, Mike.
Yeah, and Gene Palmer, yes, there's a bit of blood, and he's going to have to go off. Gene Palmer's going to take his kick instead.
There's a lot of blood, isn't there?
Yes, there is. And Brad Woolhouse, who is, there's no doubt Woolhouse is not free in his action, is coming onto the ground to replace Kerr. I'm sure Kerr won't be off for the remainder of the game, but they're going to have to attend to this eye. Palmer on his left foot kicks the ball, probing kick, looking for a big pack of players. Schober knocks it forward. Galbraith switches it off the ground. You see Thompson coming forward, falls over the back of Lawson, I think it is. And Lawson's going to take a free kick. There's a bit of a pushing and shove by Walker. But is it Lawson or is it Christian Davidson? Very hard to see at the moment. It is Davidson.
Yeah.
So Davidson's taking a while to peel himself off
No,
the
it's
turf.
not Davidson. I think it's Woolhouse. Yes, I think it's Brad Woolhouse who's just come
it's
on.
not Davidson. Davidson's walking away towards centre half
right.
forward at the
It's
moment.
Woolhouse.
So,
Blake's going to take the ball now.
so Woolhouse isn't too flash. As I said, he didn't come on all that well with his knee anyway, heavily bandaged, and he's needing the attention of trainers, and Lake will take the kick.
So Michael Lake against a Collegian side who are losing some numbers here, but he kicks it long, a big pack of players. Phillips was up high, but the fist was in there from the Old Melburnians defence and forces it over the line, 25 metres around from the Collegians' goal.
I thought Lake should have taken a different option then. It was only going to go into that big pack of players. I've got to be a little bit more sensitive than that.
Pollock tries to take it out of the ruck and have a snap for goal. But unsuccessful as the pack forms again, and there'll be a bounce. 29, nearly 30 minutes gone in this third quarter. And the knock down there by Bryant. Conceding some ground was Thompson. Kicks it out towards Parkin, but the three-quarter time siren beats him. And on the Jefferson Ford scoreboard at three-quarter time, a better quarter from Collegians. They move on to 6-15-51. They trail Old Melburnians, who are on 10-13-73.
And certainly we've seen the Collegian side show a lot more fight, a lot more desperation, and a lot harder at the ball, although, as Mark just said, they are losing some numbers because certainly Kerr's going to need some attention. Woolhouse is not a free-running player, and they're a bit restricted with their other interchange player being their ruckman. Remember, you are listening to this broadcast on Southern FM 88.3. Back here at Elsternwick Park, the score 10-14-74 to 6-15-51 Collegians, and we've been underway about 10 seconds, and there's been a point kicked by Old Melburnians. Stuart Hinchin bringing the ball back into play.
Thompson kicking the point as a result of a quick centre square possession there to Old Melburnians at the open bounce. Now it's with Pollock at half-back. Gets it over to Kerr. Kerr gets it on to Bennett. Bennett now gets it on there towards Warner. Warner now from 50 metres out. Kicks up towards Schober. Was all over his opponent there in trying to get to the ball, and infringed on Stuckey, who takes a free kick. Now switches play across the ground. Well done there by Nichols. It was a dangerous situation there for a while, but he did well to mark it. And a beautiful looking kick to Simon Theodore, who missed what he should have taken, but got away from the Galbraith tackle. And another good kick by that player out in front of player there in Teal. And it kicked off the back of his heel. And the boundary umpire might have been talked into it by the Collegians crowd on the coach's box down here in front of us.
Teal at centre half forward?
Yeah, he is, and I don't think he's running that freely. I don't think he's running that freely at all.
No, I think you're right, Mike.
Danzy's kick marked by Theodore here. Rather dubious decision by umpire Wayne Hitton. I don't think he saw it, but he waited till the player came down with the ball. But his kick only goes towards Palmer. Palmer plays on immediately. Handball at half-back to Bennett. Bennett kicks it up towards the wing position. Missed chance there by Bryan, who missed the mark on his own. Now Davidson swoops on the crumbs and kicks a beautiful left foot kick into Schober. Schober's got an unattended goal square, and he goes for it now with the left foot kick from 45 metres out. And the mark missed there by Kerr and rushed through down there. I think
yes, it
that was
Kerr.
Thompson, was it?
Well, I think it was Kerr got the ball through.
No, it was Kerr that knocked it through. Kerr nearly took the mark. I'm sorry, you're talking about the Owens player. There's three Thompsons on the ground. The kick in has found Hanbury. Hanbury plays on from inside the 45-metre arc. Looking out here for Berry and Walker. Berry takes it off the back of the pack. Phillips recovers for Collegians. Handballs to Pollock. Two big players combining well. Off to Wallace. Wallace with his left foot pops it up looking for the Schober. Schober's not in a position to mark. It's reclaimed by Old Melburnians. Tony Witts kicks it out defensively, searching for the boundary line as a Russell Barnes a la kick. Kerr runs it down before it does so, brings it back into play, brings it into the centre half forward position, and a mark that should have been taken by Galbraith straight through his hands.
Could be costly.
Recovered by Hanbury. It was a very costly mark. Missed. And Danzy throws himself forward courageously into the feet of the running Brommel and marks the ball. Danzy probing out wide. There's two Collegians players. Parkin takes it. He's protected a little bit by Thompson. Kicks it inboard, and this time Galbraith doesn't let him down and marks the ball. Galbraith back. We need one of the long kicks by Galbraith. It's not to be denied. Up it goes towards the pack. A lot of players up. We've got to get there quicker, I think, if we had a chance to win possession there. Sousa running it away. Kicks it long, the length of the square. It's a big kick looking for Brommel. Punched forward. Keneally recovers. Palmer onto his left foot, takes the handball and kicks it forward, but it's going to be marked very easily by Robert Walker, who's playing in a defensive role at the moment. Kicks out wide, looking for and finding
Thompson.
Thompson down to McMullen, showing a turn of speed, but he is closely harassed and is knocked over the boundary line by Parkin.
They're just falling down on those packs up in the Collegians forward line, aren't they? They just can't get the crumb, or there's too many numbers at the packs for Old Melburnians.
They've got to stop kicking to the packs. They've got to find something in shorter areas than kicking long to packs.
Griffiths using off the ground now.
Griffiths back on as O'Brien prepares to come back on as well at the 5-minute mark of this last quarter. Now the ball's loose here with Palmer, who's been a pretty useful contributor since coming off the bench for them. Out there towards Harrison, who got a hand on it, but was under some pressure and couldn't hang on to the mark and force a boundary throw-in right out there on the outer wing. 5 minutes gone on the Vic Health Dental Health Services scoreboard in this last quarter, and Old Melburnians are 10-14-74, holding on to that 4-goal lead. Collegians are 6-15-51. Kicked off the ground there by Harrison, gaining 20 metres for his side as it dribbles over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in as the Old Melburnians assistant coach Paul O'Brien stretches and prepares to come on in this last quarter. There's the throw-in. Pollock and Big Brian do the ruck work. Lawson goes through very hard. Now doubles back and pounces on it. There it was taken away there by Lake. Kick coming forward there into the Collegians forward line. Here comes Lake following his kick in and only forces it over for a throw-in, but they have it right next to their point post. and a big scoring opportunity here for Collegians. 6 minutes gone in this final term. Paul O'Brien still yet to come onto the ground. Big pack of players down there on the Collegians forward line. No one gets a decisive knockout. Berry handballs towards the line. Harrison tries to get a quick kick, feeds it back out there. Was it Woolhouse having a quick kick, was it? Or Davidson? Forced it into the goal square. There's a big pack of players like a rugby scrum.
I think it was Michael Lake again.
Lake?
Yeah.
Anyway, the ball is now with the umpire, 15 metres out from the Collegians goal, and they've forced a lot of men back, the old Melburnians, and Berry takes a big leap and
knocks it through for a point.
No, it's gone out of bounds.
Really? Yes. Okay.
And there'll be a throwing.
I stand corrected.
7 minutes gone. Final quarter. A bit of a lull in proceedings here as the ball's held up in the Collegians forward line. Here's a chance now for Davidson. Now Davidson with a left foot kick towards the goals, but misses to the near side and only registers a behind on the Vic Health Dental Health Services scoreboard, which reads Collegians 16-52, Old Melburnians 10-14-74. The kick in from Witts finds Cam Thompson, who marks at half-back. Settles play down at half-back.
They've done, I know I've mentioned a couple of times, but they've done that consistently well all day on the kick-in, and another short pass has found Nichols. And Nichols probes his kick along the wing looking for Brommel, who nearly marks that from behind. The man in front, Pollock, has been paid.
Big Chris Pollock on the wing position. Sends it up to half-forward. Oh, good mark out there by Warner. Darren Warner, 50 metres out, now centres the ball up. Looking for a lead from Schober. Those hands go up in the pack. Couldn't take it this time. Galbraith feeds it out to Lake. Lake screws the ball back from 45 metres. Can they get a crumb here? Kerr goes to ground, grabs the footy. Could be holding the ball against him. Umpire said no. As I think this change is being affected now by Old Melburnians as Handry comes off the ground and Paul O'Brien comes back on. 8.5 minutes gone in the final term here at Elstonwick Park. Ball goes to turf. Witts is in there, so too is Danny Thompson. Warner handballs the ball back into the goal square, but eventually coming through was Lovett and forcing it through for one behind.
So two behinds. The ball's been trapped in that top third of the ground at the scoreboard end, and umpire Gersh has been standing in the centre getting cold because umpire Hinton's had most of the play so far. The kick in is a good kick in out, a long one for a change, and it's found Lovett. Lovett kicks the ball inside and finds Webb right in the centre of the ground. Runs through the centre circle and hooks it back. A rather strange kick. He should have kept going onto his natural side. The ball is finally squirted out of the pack by Hinchin, who kicks it a bit up in the air and up and under. Webb follows on his work and recovers, puts it on his right foot side this time. Hinchin leads in his race to the ball, feeds it off to the running Lake, is it? Lake out to Wallace. Wallace handballs playing on. Bennett knows under trouble. He knocks it back. Wallace follows up. He onto his left. Kicks the ball forward. Jeremy Nichols overruns the ball. Damien Phillips following the flight of the ball knocks it forward. But Theodore with strength and a little bit of calmness kicks it forward and a great mark. We felt that one of those was always going to come with a kick like that.
Yeah, what a magnificent long kick.
Yeah, and Smith has taken the ball on only a slight angle really for a player of his ability, and he would be 35 metres out from goals.
I don't think they've made one real tackle land on Theodore today. He's just basically broken every tackle.
Great strength, Theodore. And he's pulled that to the near side and only 1 point. That perhaps should have been a goal. So a point 10-16, 76 to 6 goals, 17, 53 Collegians, and you're hearing this broadcast on Southern FM 88.3. Oh, jeez. Back here at Elstonwick Park at the 10.5 minute mark. Collegians running the ball through the centre of the ground. Compliments of Danny Thompson. His kick, unfortunately, is a bit of a scrubber kick, and it's intercepted by Jeremy Nichols, who pumps it back looking for Scott Teal. Teal dropped what he should have taken right on his chest. The follow-up by Thompson. That's Andrew Thompson kicking it forward, looking for Brommel again. McMullen pushes him forward. He's pushed forward himself. The ball is then run over the boundary line. deep in the left forward pocket for Old Melburnians. McMullen showed a little bit of body work there of some experience. Nearly gave himself a chance to mark that ball when he was clearly out of position. Umpire Jeff Wright to throw the ball back into play. Pollock over the top bounces the ball forward, but it's taken, surprise, surprise, by McMullen. McMullen loses possession of the ball. It's underneath a pack. There's an attempt to handball out. It runs into the league of players. Pollock and Griffiths are wrestling on the ground, and Pollock stands up with the football and gives it to umpire Gersh to bounce the ball.
11.5 minutes gone. Final term at Elstonwick Park. Not a great bounce. Goes towards the boundary line. Bromwell tries to trap it. Couldn't do so before it went over the line, and there'll be a boundary throw-in, this time about 40 metres out from the Old Melburnians' goal. So as the clock ticks down, Collegians need to get some goals on the board to give themselves a chance. Goal or two here to Old Melburnians, just about seal it. Kick goes forward there for them, and it once again off the back of the leg there of Steve Smith. The Old Melburnians pull forward, and there'll be another throw-in, 20 metres out from goal.
It's becoming a bit of a hard slog, isn't it now?
It is. Plenty of packs, making it difficult for some scoring. As now Andrew Thompson is happy to see the ball go over the line, and Old Melbourne is just holding things up a little bit here on their half-forward line, waiting to set something up.
Almost a time erosion technique at the moment. Doss, to use the new parlance in football. Pollock, knocked forward again by Pollock. Pollock has taken over in the ruckwork since he's come back on this time. Nichols kicks the ball forward, looking for a Teal. Teal's had the ball punched away. Thompson for Collegians marks it, chips it out to Lawson. Lawson gives it to Pollock. Pollock handballs over the top to Keneally. Keneally kicks it up the wing, looking for Damien Phillips, but he's clearly outpointed by Robert Walker from behind, and Walker's height and strength outmanoeuvred Damien Phillips then, and Walker with the ball. He's looking for an Old Melburnians lead. There's not much forthcoming. Lovett's on the far side. A mishandling of the football there, but it's a recover there by Palmer. Well done, because I thought he was totally out of position. He kicks it wide. Leading in the race to the ball is Schober, very deep out on the wing. Turns, handballs back, it cannons off the head of the Old Melburnians player. It's very untidy. It's near the boundary line, and finally it goes over the line and out of bounds directly opposite us on the far wing, right in front of the 4 and 20 pie sign at Elstonwick Park.
Very impressive, Gene Palmer. Gee, he's done an excellent job.
Yes, he's given them something. 13.5 minutes gone. Final term. Collegians 6:18.54. Old Melburnians 10:15.75 on the Vic Health Dental Health Services scoreboard. And I think we're going to see another throw in, are we? Out on the outer wing as it's a scrambling passage of play. Theodore goes to lend a hand in there and make sure it goes over the line, just to kill a little bit more time on the outer wing. It won't be great stuff from here, as Old Melburnians will be happy to close it out as they have a lead of just under 4 goals. Kicked off the ground there by Thompson, up to half forward. Coming through there was Thompson. Now here's a chance for Collegians out there on the outer side. Looks like it's Harrison, or was it Kerr? Kerr swinging it back in, inside 45. Here's a chance for Parkin. Parkin gets it on to Big Phillips. He runs the 20 metres straight in front, and he puts it through, and that might be the lift they need. There's the big fellow. Phillips puts it through for their 7th. They're on to 7:18.60. They only trail by 15 points now. Old Melburnians at 10:15.75 on the Vic Health Dental Health Services scoreboard.
And that was a great steal by Park, and then a great steal. Showed a lot of courage to intercept that ball, because they were closing down into a rapid rate, a couple of Old Melburnians players. And he knocked it through, managed to recover it, and gave it back to Phillips, who ran into and make an easy goal. Great play, Parkin.
It really was a lifting piece of play. It was great anticipation.
And they needed that. Doss is right. They needed that spark, because it was starting to peter out this game. It had lost a little bit of its urgency and interest. And we're seeing emergency umpire Michael Snedden come onto the ground, making his presence felt with delivery of this is the 3rd football for the day. He transfers that ball to umpire Peter Gersh, who's going to bounce this ball at the 15-minute mark of the last quarter, and there's 15 points in the game. A great bounce by Gersh. Pollock up, but Bryan, I think, won that and has hurt himself as he's come down. Danzy's punches what he should have marked. It's gathered by Thompson. Cam Thompson kicks it to the goal square. It's knocked back into play. Terrific run through by Stuart Hinchin, but the umpire has already indicated it had crossed the line. Hinchin was about to run away with the play, and so it was a point. Hinchin tries to kick in, but he's far too early. The umpire has not been in a position to wave the flag. So the ball is brought back to the goal square, and Stuart Hinchin is going to bring this ball back into play from another from that point by Old Melburnians. Hinchin looking for a lead. There's not a lot forthcoming. They duck back towards the centre. We're seeing Danzy moving to the centre. Thompson is calling for the ball, but he's hardly a marking player. And now a short lead on the far side by Kerr with a bandage round his head. It's a bad kick and under kicks him. It's recovered by Lovett. Lovett hooks it back to the goal square, and showing a fair bit of courage there again is Parkin.
Bad choice to go to ground over there. The ball was always going to fall short, and I really don't think he should. He should have retained his foothold at least and tried to pick the ball up.
Could have been costly for them, but Old Melburnians now, the scoring opportunity in their forward owners, 20 metres out from their goal, a big pack of players. Thompson goes in there. So too does Palmer for Collegians.
Just get that feeling that Old Melburnians will score off this ball down there. Collegians need to get it away quickly.
Bounce down. Umpire Hinton puts it down. Thompson tries to knock it away. Here's a chance now. It gets with Smith. Smith accepts the hand pass. I think it was from Berry.
Micah Berry.
Berry, and Smith from 10 metres out pops it through for a goal that hurts Collegians very much at the 17.5-minute mark, and Old Melburnians move on to 11-16-82. Now go out to 22 points on Collegians, who are 7-18-60 on their Vic Health Dental Health Services board.
And how the pendulum can quickly swing, you know, after that lifting goal by Parkin combining with Phillips, went down the other end and stayed down there, and there seemed a lack of urgency in the Collegians camp. It's a kick off the ground in the centre of the ground now by Lawson, a miss by Walker, a pick up by Harrison, who kicks it forward, but it's an ugly kick, and Paul O'Brien shows a little bit of experience to out-muscle his opponent and take the mark. He handballs off to Stuckey, who handballs to Theodore. Theodore again breaks through a tackle. It's a half-hearted tackle, and Sousa, following up his work, kicks very well to the running Micah Berry. Berry handballs onto Webb. Webb on his left was being chased by Parker. He's a bit late to get there, and it's a down-the-field free kick. And that was always being telegraphed by Parko. It was a desperate lunge at him, but he knew he was going to get there a little bit late. And down the field free kick, a set shot by, of all players, a pretty accurate kick in McMullen, directly in front of goal, some 25 metres out, could not possibly miss.
Now when he comes, Ian McMullen lines up. Not his greatest kick for the day, but still the right result. Full points to him. And very unfortunate for Anthony Parkin, who'd had a good couple of bits of play there in the last 5 or 10 minutes with some courageous work, as Mike had mentioned, but just overcommitted himself there, and he did telegraph it, and it was a late tackle, and the correct decision was made.
And they've swept out to a 28-point lead here, and that's a decisive lead at the almost the 19-minute mark of this grand final.
Yes, you would think they couldn't possibly get back from here. And
we'd certainly have to go against the trend of play. Umpire Hinton bounces the ball, another good bounce. But Bryan, full of energy now, knocks it forward and knocks it right out of the square. It comes into the open. Griffiths about to pick up the ball, can't do so. Again, Parkin just a little bit crude in his enthusiasm and manages to take Griffiths too high. So Griffiths taking lots of time, walking back with a kick that he'll deliver long into his forward line, given this marking strength and height. Tony Witts has had one of his characteristic big dashes down the ground that he's marked his career with, but he's not used, so he turns and starts running back to the full-back position. He wastes a lot of energy that way, Witsy. And a very, very well-weighted kick by Griffiths, showing some of his league experience there, found McMullen on the lead, which could not possibly have been stopped by Keneally.
Be a chance from here too.
Yeah, McMullen from outside the 45. But off to the right-hand side, and only a point by McMullen. McMullen's kicked 4 for the day, Dos.
Yes, he's been a pretty good player. Had a very a reasonably quiet second half, just coming into it now, but certainly did some damage early in the game when the game was up for grabs in that first quarter and second quarter. As the kick in there by Hinchin goes out wide. Doesn't look like anyone's touched it, or have they? Someone's got their hands on the ball, and there will be a throw-in 50 metres out from goal. So 20 minutes gone. And it looks like Old Melburnians are going to take out the A-Section Premiership for 1994 as they lead 12-17-89, 29 points up on Collegians, 7-18-60 on the Vic Health Dental Health Services scoreboard.
Certainly, Darryl. Well, that certainly is a bit of a surprise because Box Hill seem to have that under control. But there you go, the experience of Sandringham and another premiership for the Zebras. We're back into play down here. It's a kick in by Keneally from the back pocket for Collegians. Looking for Danzy. It's punched forward by Teal. It's roved very well by Griffiths. He evades 2 or 3 attempts to tackle and chips it a rather hospital kick. Jeremy Nichols gets on the end of it, has a shot for goal, and I think he almost has kicked it. It doesn't really matter because Micah Berry has marked almost on the line. Could not afford to let that bounce because it was heading towards the post. So it was a correct decision by Micah to mark that right on the goal line, and he will walk in and kick this through for a goal, and that will take them to 13 goals, and they could not lose it from there. Micah Berry's been a reasonably consistent player throughout the day. It was well roved then by Jeremy Nichols, the captain, and he put the ball exactly to the spot where coaches instruct their players to kick the ball forward too. Micah, being the character that he is, has just tried to kick that to the junction oval from the goal square, and of course that's going to be another football they'll probably need. But certainly he's kicked a goal for the Old Melburnian side, who now lead at the 22-minute mark, 13 goals, 17.95 to 7.18.60, and you're listening to this broadcast on Southern FM 88.3.
Still here at Elsternwick Park.
We are still here at Elsternwick Park,
But,
so umpire Gersh is going to bounce the ball, and we've had the 4th ball brought on as a result of that kick by Micah Berry.
Yeah, it's celebration time for Old Melburnians now. They're into party mode now as Webb gets it over to Usanov. Usanov from 45 metres, goes for it again, and they're on a high now. It's all over here at Elsternwick Park. Old Melburnians now running away with it in the last quarter, and they're now starting to enjoy these last 7 or 8 minutes. And the players are coming from everywhere to congratulate Zani Usanov, who kicks a goal from 45 metres. And Old Melburnians now 14-17-101, running away from Collegians, 7-18-60, and we've played just over 23 minutes in this last quarter, and that's on the Vic Health Dental Health Services scoreboard as the ball is back in the centre with umpire Wayne Hinton. Puts the ball to turf. Big leap from Pollock there, who's still going. Here he comes again, Usanov tries to get through. Trying to kick the ball through there was Chad Sousa. Plenty of players on the ball there, and umpire Gersh decides to have a bounce.
And umpire Gersh has regained his composure very quickly because he was knocked over as they ran down the ground for that goal by Old Melburnians, a pack of players, and he did a forward somersault, got to his feet very quickly and called the all clear. That would have brought a smile to the umpire advisors and the director of umpiring, Brian Bullis.
So the ball, handball out there by Cam Thompson, goes out wide. Kicked off the ground there by Walker. Comes through again, picks it up cleverly on the one hand. Now he decides to kick on the right foot up towards half forward. Bennett and Brommel doing battle. The fist came from behind from Brommel and forced it over 50 metres, or over the line I should say, 50 metres from the Old Melburnians goal.
I wonder whether we're starting to see the end of a Collegians era with a lot of those players out there probably approaching the end of their career, Mike.
Yes, it could be, Jeff, it could be. They were anxious to go for 3 in a row. It doesn't look like today's the day, and Old Melburnians have won a free kick of a ruck infringement, and it will go to Scott Teal, I think. And at the 24.5-minute mark, really Old Melburnians have got the ascendancy back, and that's kicked forward. It wasn't Scott Teal, I'm sorry, it was Brommel.
Yeah.
Brommel, and there's a pack in front of the goals. Danzy clears the ball, brings it up to the centre of the ground. Sousa coming forward, backed his judgment, covered very well by Christian Davidson, kicks it up looking for Shover, shows some strength, carries the ball in, handballs it out to Phillips. Phillips' handball went nowhere. Paul O'Brien is legged, and Paul O'Brien will take the ball. And remember, you're listening to this broadcast on Southern FM 88.3.
Played well. Sousa.
not bad, is it?
And back here at Elstonwick Park, Galbraith has kicked the ball forward, but it's tumbling over the boundary line right in front of the OM's coach's box. As time ticks down, 26 minutes and 20 seconds, 101 points to 60 points. Old Melburnians have their hands very firmly placed on the LA Adamson Cup, Doss.
They certainly do have, and it's been a pretty good effort by the Old Melburnians all day. Just a lapse in the third quarter where Collegians got themselves back into the game. Here's Phillips trying to come through. Plenty of players now. O'Brien, who's done well at half-back, been steady. Big leap there from Berry. Galbraith now gets a kick that's smothered. Theodore's in there trying to go through. A big pack of players go down there, 3 or 4 of them. And umpire Gersh comes in for a bounce. 27 minutes gone, and the Old Melburnian supporters and their bench getting ready to celebrate this premiership that they've waited a long time for in A section.
39 years, in fact, Doss.
And they'll...
1955 was their last premiership, so they'll celebrate long and hard into next week.
I'm sure they will, as Stuart Griffiths takes a free kick at half-back. And he kicks up towards half-forward. Looking up here for Brommel. Comes over the back. Here's Teal now. Teal gets a handball in. Here's Kerr, who'll be on his left foot. His preferred left foot. Webb, I should say, has a flying shot on the left foot. And it is one behind. So Old Melburnians now move on to 14 goals, 18-102. 7 goals up on Collegians, who are 7-18-60.
We don't know who.
Played 28 minutes gone. So here it is with Lake. Kick in from Hinchin. Lake now takes a couple of bounces. Left foot kick out wide. Good use of the body there by Pollock. Pollock now breaks away from his opponent there in Bryan, who kicks it out wide to the half-forward line. Plenty of pressure there. Good tackle there by Walker. The ball's still there.
Phillips.
I think it was Phillips. Phillips now hooks it in. Here's Davidson. Gets it up nicely to Galbraith. Galbraith from 50 metres in. Drills it into the open goal square. It's running towards the goal, but hits the post as Jeremy Nichols goes back to try and save the day for Old Melburnians. And Collegians kick there, 19th behind, 7-19-61. Old Melburnians 14-18, 118 I should say, 102. And that's on the Vic Health Dental Health Services scoreboard as Usinoff marks the kick in.
And he had 2 or 3 options to kick in then, Which. So again, all day they've been doing this very well. Usinoff gets it inboard to Stuckey. Stuckey comes down the ground looking for Brommel. It's punched forward. It goes through the hands of Micah Berry. Cam Thompson that is, picks it up, feeds it back to Brommel. Brommel tries to chip it short to Smith. Smith overruns it. Webb picks it up and he's a chance to put it forward. He does so. Good interception by Keneally. Keeps the ball in play. Runs onto the far side. Bounces once. Kicks it out wide to a guy from Collegians who has an enormous amount of space in Kerr. Kerr kicks it inboard and a great mark taken by Jimmy Bennett as he's crashed to the ground by Robert Walker. Legitimately, and it's hurt Walker. He's got him in the nose. Bennett stands up and will kick the ball out to the far side. A pack of players up. Witts follows on his work. Fed goes back through traffic, kicks out defensively, looking for the boundary line, the sanctuary of the boundary line, and that's exactly what he finds, ahead of the running David Kerr. And Leah Gallagher will throw it in on the far side in front of the Manifold Stationers sign as time ticks down, 29 minutes and 44 seconds. 14-18, 102 Old Melburnians, leading Collegians 7-18-60 on the Vic Health Dental Health Services scoreboard. From the ball end, Davison picks it up. Schober feeds it out to Galbraith. Galbraith kicks it towards the square. Schober is up there, so I've called him twice in passage of play. He must have covered 45 metres miraculously. So obviously it was a wrong call. It goes off Schober's hands and goes over the boundary line. At least we're honest here, Doss, and acknowledge our mistakes.
Yes, always been a very honest man, Mike, so pleasing to see, admitting to one of your rare errors, as there's a boundary throw in 10 metre or 20 metres out from the Collegians' goal. Big pack of players down there at the moment. No, there is the siren, and Old Melburnians, A-section premiers in 1994, and thoroughly deserve their victory and their premiership here today. They've had a great season. Commiserations to Collegians, who battled against the odds today, and Old Melburnians have run out victors by 42 points. Old Melburnians 14-18, 102 have defeated Collegians 7-18-60 as Roger Ellingworth moves onto the ground to congratulate his players. The Collegians players disappointed, but the Old Melburnian players can celebrate, and as Mike said, they will sure celebrate long and hard into this week, and it's been a terrific performance from them today.
It certainly has. They had clearly won the second semi, perhaps not as impressively on the scoreboard as they won in every other department on the day against Collegians, and here they have repeated that again today, winning by 42 points. In fact, they went back to what they had led the game by at half-time when we thought it was clearly one-way traffic in the first half. A good fight back by Collegians in the third quarter, but they run out of legs and run out of goal-scoring forwards. That's where I think they let themselves down today. 7 goals, 19, 61 to 14 goals, 18, 102. Obviously, Old Melburnians have kicked 7 goals more than Collegians. Collegians with only 7 goal kickers, or 7 goals kicked for the day, is where they let themselves down. Some of these statistics, McMullen kicked 4 goals for the Victors, 2 goals to Stephen Smith, the full forward, and 2 goals to Richard Webb, 2 goals also to Micah Berry. Singles to Stuart Griffiths, Andrew Thompson, and Zani Yusinov, very late in the game, was used only sparingly today off the interchange, Yusinov, but he kicked that goal. To the Collegian side, 3 goals to Damien Phillips, who acquitted himself quite well at both centre-half forward and full forward, and spent a little bit of time off the ground when they were trying to change around their side and find a winning formula. And singles to Steve Lawson, first goal they kicked, Richard Schober. Probably a bit disappointing, the number of goals Shobes kicked today. And I know he played with a broken nose after an altercation last week late in the day. But I think we expect a lot out of Shobes, and today Collegians were expecting perhaps a few more goals than one from Richard Schober if they had a chance. Christian Davison kicked a goal, and so too did Michael Lake. So the end result, we see 14 goals, 18, 102, 42-point victors to OMs, 7, 18, 60. The umpires today, of course, were Peter Gersh and Wayne Hinton, both experienced A-grade umpires, and they would have enjoyed the opportunity of running around today, and they umpired very well indeed. Boundary umpires Leah Gallagher and Jeff Wright, and the goal umpires Ken Pitcher and Bernie Hoare. And you're listening to this broadcast on Southern FM 88.3. Well done to all of them. And as they're about to make some announcements, we're going to be going back to the studio. But before we do, we might steal a little bit of thunder here and announce that the winner of the Jock Nelson Medal, before it's announced on the ground, the Jock Nelson Medal is named after Jock Nelson, probably one of the most decorated players to play amateur football. Played 280 games for Melbourne High School Old Boys, represented the VAFA from 1957 to 64. He captained carnival teams in 62 and 64, and section best and fairest winner in B section in 59, in C section in 60, in B section in 61, in A section in 64, and again in 65. And so the medal that was struck last year is named in recognition of Jock Nelson, and the winner today for the Jock Nelson Medal will be the captain of Old Melburnians, Jeremy Nichols. So congratulations to Jeremy. That'll be acknowledged on the ground very shortly. We'd like to thank Southern FM for their support in this broadcast, and everybody back at the studio and their technical panel here, and the producer John Kelly, and Wayne in charge of all the technical details, and Daryl Pittman chairing it all back there this afternoon. And we've thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity to once again have a direct broadcast of the VAFA Grand Final here from Elstonwick Park, the home of amateur football. Again, the reminder that Old Melbourne is victorious this year, first time for 39 years, and I'm sure all the Old Melburnian players are to be congratulated, and they will celebrate long and hard into this week. From Elstonwick Park, it's Mike MacArthur-Allen, and on behalf of Mark Anderson, who called this afternoon, and Jeff Riley, who stood in for Benny Goodman, we'd like to thank everybody for supporting us. And a final cheerio to Brian Benny Goodman. We hope he's back on his feet as quickly as possible. Sorely missed today, and I'm sure he would have loved the opportunity to commentate on the game. But he knows it was handled with great aplomb by Jeff Riley, and without doubt, this has been the most enjoyable season of amateur football. Congratulations, OMs. And Daryl Pittman, and back at the Southern FM studio, it's over to you. You've been listening to this broadcast today on Southern FM 88.3.
Another medal for this guy. He got one for us at the carnival this year. Number 30, Ian McMullen. Number 4, Paul O'Brien. Number 16 was Steve Smith. Smithy. Number 49, Tim Stuckey. Number 29, Chad Souza. Number 24, Scotty Teal. Number 2, Simon Theodore. Number 11, Andrew Thompson. Number 7, Cam Thompson. Number 45, Zani Yusinov. Number 25, Rob Walker. Number 18, Will Ward-Ambler. Number 32, Richard Webb. Number 1, he's had a great career with the OMs. Number 1, Tony Witts. If I could call forward now to receive from David Burns their medallions, plus the magnificent Sharon Cup, which becomes the property for all time of the Old Melburnians Club, and the trophy that has to come back every year. This is the Adamson Cup, but I'm sure that'll get a little bit of something tipped into it tonight. To receive their medallions and the cups on behalf of Old Melburnians, the coach of the club, Roger Ellingworth, and the skipper, Jeremy Nichols.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've had a fantastic game of football here this afternoon. Commiserations to Collegians. They put up a fantastic performance, but unfortunately on the day, OMs were just a bit too good. To Rick Pazarski and all the boys at OMs, a fantastic effort coming up from B grade, winning the double. It's only been done 4 times before. I have a close amount of empathy with the deed, so Rick will appreciate that, and I know how he feels now. To all the boys from OMs, congratulations, a fantastic performance, and I congratulate you.
What a game. Whew, this is sensational. A couple of thanks, I think, firstly to the VAFA for running another fantastic year of footy. They do a good job and it's just sensational. To the Collegians, you have been the benchmark for the last couple of years and it's an absolute honour for us to be able to beat you on today. Sensational effort and best of luck next year. But this year it's the OMs, and it's been a hard job. The last 3 years we've worked bloody hard on this, and people like James Nixon and Rick Kazarski, Alan Stoneham and son, just to name a few, it's just been sensational. Special thanks to Roger Ellingworth, the coach, who's just, how he manages these guys is just sensational. It's just terrific, so well done, Rog. Finally, the team which makes it, what a bunch of blokes. It's just sensational. We're going out tonight. Just terrific. I might retire now. This is good. Just to make sure everyone knows it's back at the Junction Oval tonight. We're going to have a huge night, and I think it might be celebrating for the week. What do you reckon, Margo? Let's go. All right. Thanks very much.
I think Jim summed it up pretty well. So I just wanted to actually thank Lee Carlson and Jimmy Bennett and the rest of the police boys. They have been the benchmark all year. They've really set the standard, and we appreciate the way that you played the game, the spirit you played the game, and look forward to playing again next year. And just to the fellas, look, just can't thank you enough. I really don't know what to say. It's a dream come true. Thank you.
There is one more thing to do. As you know, last year we recognised the best player on the ground in the A section grand final by awarding the Jock Nelson medal. That was won last year by Mark Hibbins, of course. We have a very special guest today of the amateurs, Mr. Doug Haywood, who played a lot of football with Melbourne and is well known in recent times as a commentator with the ABC, football, cricket, tennis, the lot. And he's our very special guest today, and he's going to present the Jock Nelson medal to the winner. I have his name on this bit of paper. So Doug, I'd like you to take the microphone and the bit of paper, and you can do the rest.
This is almost like a quiz show. Well, many players play a lifetime of football and never achieve a grand final game, so I congratulate collegians and OMs on this wonderful day when you both performed so splendidly. But when I get round to the best and fairest, his cup really runneth over. Not only did he play in a grand final side today, but he also played in the winning grand final. He also happened to be the captain, and his name is Jeremy Nichols. So big day.
Thank you.
Well done.
Big surprise.
He says big surprise. I'm sure it wasn't. Well done, Jeremy.
Well, this is a huge surprise. Look, you just can't do these things alone. It's got to be the other 20 blokes in the team, and that's what it's all about. And it's a great way to go out, isn't it? Thanks very much. Thanks, Jez. Well done. Okay, OMs, I guess all to say is the City of Melbourne is yours tonight. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks to everybody that's come along today to make this a great grand final day, and to round off a great season of amateur football. Thanks, collegians, and we'll see you all back next year. Thank you.